A caltrop is an area denial weapon designed to stop the enemy. The caltrop is a sturdy, simple, yet effective weapon no matter its position. Its purpose was originally designed to stop elephant and donkey attacks. It graduated to stopping tanks. And now, the caltrop is your defense against propaganda, polished lies, and manufactured outrage. It's free from counterfeit credibility and synthetic truth. However, inside the walls of the caltrop, you're going to be forced to think. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, Mike Calderese is the caltrop.
Coming down the mountain from the heaven to the hell, the Mike Calderese, the caltrop, he never stops, so ring the bell. He bring the facts, he's been up every morning till we sleep. He get it deep, Mike Calderese, in your head and in your sheets. And we don't mind, and we don't care, Mike Calderese is the caltrop. And we don't mind, and we don't care, Mike Calderese is the caltrop. And we don't mind, and we don't care, Mike Calderese is the caltrop.
Good evening and welcome. I know I'm sorry I'm late, Yankee 68. Damn, he gets on me. I had to brush my teeth, man. I forgot. I realized I smelt my own breath for a second. So you know what? That smells like beer you've been drinking at the bar. You better brush your teeth so they're sparkly white for you, Yankee 68. But again, I'm a little bit late, but welcome everybody to the Caltrop on this, what I'm hoping to be a fantastic Friday night. Listen, I know Alabama's playing Oklahoma. I get it. But outside of the crazy people from Alabama, and let me tell you something, some of those women are very, very attractive. I'm just going to start there. But besides those type of people, you don't really care about that game. You'd rather see what we have going on today. And we have what I think is hoping to be, has the possibility to be, can be, possibly, it may pretend to be. But I think this show's going to work out if it works out. I have three guests. I obviously have Mike Hall. He's waiting in the back. I have no Mike's right, so we're going to kind of get right to the show. Sorry, we're going to get right to the show. I'm thinking if it plans out the way I want it to plan out. So this is what's happening. As you guys have known, I have been trying to get people that would debate me on whatever topic. I don't care what the topic is. Just come argue with me. And so far, the only one that would argue with me is my co-host, and you're going to see Mike Hall, and I love it. Some of you guys, like the show. Some of you didn't like the show from last time. But I love the debate. I love the argument. I love just coming from two different sides. Yeah, maybe we didn't need to yell over each other, but we're learning, right? But I like to debate, so I challenge two people to a debate today. One is Leslie Jean Paul. I think I said his name correctly. Leslie was trying to make the claim that Obama was a great president, that the American Rescue and Recovery Plan of 2009 saved this country from oblivion. And he was trying to say that Donald Trump is a horrible president. And I want to give him a chance to make his claim. Now, so far, he says he's coming on. We will see what happens. And I have another guy named James who's been hammering me pretty hard about my stance on Israel, that I claim that Bibi Netanyahu is a war criminal and that all of these religions suck. And he wanted to challenge me on that. So I think I have a jam-packed show for you. I don't have a lot. So if they don't show up, we're going to call it a Christmas fucking miracle. And we're going to end the show a little bit early. Or maybe I just gab and take your questions. But without further ado, let's bring in my man, fresh white ass Mike.
Yo!
How you doing, bro?
How are you, sir? Can you hear me?
I'm doing great. Many people thought that after that Monday show that it was like, yo, bro, are you guys all right? I'm like, yeah, we were laughing after the show. Like,
Yeah, we were absolutely laughing. I'm fixing my thing here. Sorry about that. Yeah, dude, because I was so happy. Like I said before, I'm just so happy that there's somebody else out there. I mean, you know what I mean? Rams buck horns. You know what I mean? It's leaders, men who are trying to take this world and this country in a better direction. Sometimes got to have some heated debates and arguments. I find what you said very interesting. And more than anything, sometimes you don't consider that point. Sometimes it's interesting to hear the other person, especially, when it's somebody that is a friend you respect. So when you're out there fighting some real haters and some real people that would prefer to see you lose in life, you kind of had that training. You know what I mean? We've
Well,
been in the ring. We
You know what?
sparred.
Everyone, it's interesting because a lot of people don't like listening to it, right? Sometimes we're talking over each other and shit, but the conversation where you're yelling over each other in the middle of the fucking living room or at the kitchen table has happened in every single household on the planet for how long?
Right.
Right. So it's like, to me, those type of conversations where it's like, yeah, listen, I'm not backing off of my point. You're not backing off of your point. And it gets nasty. And sometimes friends, how many times are the dude, you're such a stupid motherfucker. You don't understand this. People don't get it, man. But I hope everybody enjoyed it. I think what we learned, though, we can't talk over each other.
Yeah, that part. Also, I just want to say shout out OU Boomer Sooner. You know what I mean? Let's go.
Are you looking for? Is that why you got to go early because they're playing, or is that what's going on today?
No, man, I have it right here. I can watch and do this too. But the family, got the family. I don't know if you saw, but it is the holiday season. In fact,
it's the holiday season.
So, I mean, the game will be on because I literally live in the town that the game is being played on. Like, I can literally see in real life where the game is being played practically from my bedroom window, my studio window.
Here's the deal. It is the holiday season. And with that in mind, I drank all my beer today. Okay. Because it was a rain day and I didn't work. So I have Blue Moons left, I guess. And I guess I'm going to be doing Blue Moon, the tangerine peel. Let's see how it tastes. Oh, that's pretty disgusting. I got to be honest with you. That is. Oh man, like flavored water. Like if I left like tangerine peel in flavored in water overnight, that's kind of what that tasted like.
Is it like a spritzer, like a seltzer or something, like a hard seltzer?
I have no idea. No, it doesn't.
Does it have alcohol in it?
I hope to God it does. Or what am I drinking this for? Yes, it has. So no, it only has 4% alcohol. So this is good.
Oh, wow.
This is like perfect. This is like exactly. This is drinking flavored water. I'm drinking flavored water for you on the holiday season.
Off the gas. You've been going hard beer. Now you're just kind of letting off the gas, going from 70 to 50. I got it.
So you ready? Let's see. Fridays are always a little more relaxed. What are your? You have a lot of plans. You do a lot of family stuff on Christmas Eve or what? Or Christmas?
Yeah, man. Working. Believe it or not. Kind of running a small mini network, trying to set up for the holidays because tomorrow did 5 shows today, got 2 to do tomorrow. Then after tomorrow, I'll be done basically until Friday when we do the Caltrop again. So yeah, man, and it's recording them. And we're gonna do like a Christmas marathon of the watch party, and you're gonna be on a lot of Christmas Eve. We're doing a marathon of Power Sports Time.
Oh, dude, I got to send you vitriol too. I got to send you vitriol.
Yes. So
yeah, way you can just play that in the loop. That'd be badass.
Then because that is a jam. Absolutely.
Nice. So besides the shows, family shit, or are you just hanging out? What do you guys do? Do you like typically go? Are you one of those people that drive around from place to place to place? Does your wife drag you? I got to go to my mom's, and then I got to go to my stepdad's, and then we have Uncle Tony's to go to, and then is it like that or no?
No, we're a smaller family, and not to make you angry. I'm not doing it to make you angry, but we do a lot of church stuff. So,
that doesn't make me angry.
No,
listen, I don't care about people that are good church people. Listen, I think everyone makes a mistake when I go after organized religion because of the people leading it. And I don't love the people that follow it. But my thing is I don't disagree with the word of God or the word of Jesus. This is where everyone makes the mistake. I disagree with how humans implement it. And that's all. And there's plenty of people in my life, like my buddy Eric, who's watching right now, Big E in the chat, he lives his life by it. And he really, truly lives his life by it. And those are like, if you are living your life by what you preach and what you believe, and you're really doing it and you're following the teaching and you're not living life like a hypocritical piece of shit, I have because you're a believer, right? And then honestly, but then the true believers honestly scare the shit out of me as well. So it's a fucking double-edged sword, man. You know, so no, I don't hate religion. I don't hate religion. It's, you know, I don't know. It's the human aspect of it that sours it for me. That's all.
Well, and if I may, man, when you realize it, and I hate to say it like this because it'll offend people, but
Say it.
it goes so much more beyond religion when you're actively involved. I mean, a lot of people have like, and everybody has substitute. I mean, you got your 4-H clubs, and you got your PTA clubs, and you got your this club, and your that club, and your boosters for football, and you know what I mean? You name it, the Grand Poobahs, you know, where y'all wear a hat and go hang out. And so there are a lot of things like that. And your church becomes that thing where, okay, we're doing things on Saturday, and then we're, doing things on Christmas Eve, and, on Monday we're setting stuff up, and those are your people in your community. You're all like-minded. You get along with these folks, and this is kind of your club as well as, where you worship.
Yeah, it's so like those are the people. It's kind of like the Charlie Kirk thing. When I went to that, I make references to this a lot. The vigil they had in Brick, New Jersey. The people that were there were really wonderful people, right? Really, really wonderful people. They were there for the right reasons. The people running it were scumbags.
Yeah, exactly.
And the thing that honestly does trouble me about the whole thing is going, why can such good people be so easily led astray through false profiting or through things like that? Because it's that to me is why I go. And when I rip on anything, everybody thinks like, when I go after Israel, for example, everyone thinks, oh, you're going after all Jews. Or when I talk about any particular group, out of all that group, I think 80% are just good people. I really do believe that. I think most of humanity is actually good. I don't think most of humanity is bad. I don't think all Muslims are bad. I think the majority of everybody from every walk is good. It's about how bad is the level of bad on your side. And everyone has their level of bad, bro. Everyone has, and there's different levels to it, but they're all scumbags. It's just certain people's bad you can't talk about, and then certain people's bad you have to point to, and that's, when we talk about all the stuff that we talk about, ultimately, I try to come through it from a rational point of view. Like, how do we solve this problem? Everyone's trying to figure out how to solve the problem, but nobody really wants to come to the grips with the real answers of how to solve it. There's no, to solve the religions fighting each other, there's not many solutions to it. There's two or three. You're going to have to choose one really hard one. Either let one win or none of them win. They all go away. It's like there's only a couple out. Because we've tried all the other fucking examples. We don't have to guess anymore. It's like, okay, we tried this, didn't work. Tried that, didn't work. Tried that shit, didn't work. What happens now? So no, I ultimately, I think religion, bro, is an awesome guide for humanity. I really do.
Well, and past that, man, let me just say on our end, we need people like you. Okay. So like what you said about the chart, you were like, everybody that was there to show up to be supportive and be at the vigil were wonderful people. The people running it were scumbags. Well, that's why we need people like you, right? You need people on the outside who are good, moral people who believe in God, that aren't religious and, don't have more of a religious tone, but, believe that there is a higher power and that maybe there's something more to life. And you go, man, these people have this religious freedom. We fought and died for it. Because you're what I consider to be a true patriot in that you kind of always go back to the Constitution. That's why so many people get mad at you, right? Because you're like, no, you're screwing us over by playing these things. That's not what it really is.
And I don't pick sides.
Yeah.
I don't pick sides in what team is ruining the Constitution, because they both step on it. Both sides want to step on the Constitution.
Agreed. Well, especially now but anyway, the whole, man, I'm so disappointed in the whole Venezuela thing. I mean, it's blatantly an oil play. I get it. If you're looking at it from a heartless, screw it, superpower, we're going to, instead of have to work with Saudi, be able to tell Saudi to screw off. We have as much oil as you. We don't need you anymore. Yes, it's a great move. And they can't even get it out of the ground in Venezuela. We get to go, set it up, pull it out. It's all us, right? And our tiny hat daddy. But, that's why they want it too. It's an awful, the war is an awful, we're just like, We're coming in, we're taking your stuff over, and we're killing a bunch of you, and that's what we're about to do. Good luck.
Listen, I think Maduro, that Venezuela, what they've done to that country is disgusting. And ultimately, I really don't give a fuck if we surround them, cut them off, force Maduro out of there. The problem is we've watched regime change, and I don't think we're very good at replacing people. Let's just put it that way. That's number one. But, the thing that does concern me is the fact that Trump for years has been running on peace, no wars, peace, no wars,
That's
peace,
exactly.
no wars.
Yes.
And if we're being very, very blunt, we've done a shitload of blowing people the fuck up or using our military, and now we're no longer the defense secretary. We're the secretary of war, which I'm all cool with if you didn't come in preaching peace. If you came in and say, listen, I'm going to fuck these people up. If you fuck with me, I'm going to tear your ass apart. I think I'd be way more okay with that.
Even not to interrupt, but just to kind of put a point on that, even if it was they were messing with us, they're not doing anything to us. I mean, if you do a basic Google search, and this is it, yeah, they're participating in the drug trade. By far, Mexico is our biggest enemy when it comes to the drug trade. Then you got Colombia, and you have all these other countries, right? So this whole thing is, supposedly about drugs. They're not even saying it's about oil. That's the most offensive part. And that's the thing. Even if they're not doing anything to us. It's just, if Trump would have said, yeah, and Venezuela is sitting on as much oil as Saudi, and they're such a dysfunctional country, they can't even pull it out of the ground. We're going to go take that shit over, and then it'll be us in Israel telling the Middle East to go screw itself and Europe to go screw itself. If he would have said that, that might have informed my vote differently. And now, I don't know if you heard today, I've been so busy. Have you seen, there's something about the Epstein thing going on? I guess they're refusing to release all the files. Today, as you know, Congress voted, as we all know.
They released a couple thousand of them or whatever the fuck it is. It's going to be a slow drip. You know how it's going to be, bro.
Yep.
Oh, we have to do this, and we still there's all types of loopholes, and whatever they passed. You know how this is going to work out. They are not going to release anything of relevance.
Correct.
They would have already done it. The Democrats, you saw the play when they released that picture of Trump from a beauty pageant, and they had the girls' faces blocked out. You realize they weren't serious. That it's all bullshit. And today, what happened? There was a picture of in the New York Post. It said half naked Bill Clinton is in a hot tub with Ghislaine Maxwell and some other unnamed woman. To where it's like, yeah, motherfucker, if anybody's in a bathing suit, we're half naked. Give me a break. You come to the Jersey Shore, you're going to see full ass cheeks on every single girl out there. Because guess what? They don't make bathing suits that are not thong anymore, apparently, which I appreciate.
I mean, I'm not mad about it, but
No, yeah, I love it. Thank you.
Living in Hawaii for almost 20 years and coming back to Oklahoma, a lot of it is just different. Yeah. In Hawaii, dude, we love board shorts as dudes because your board shorts are the ones that dry out quick. So you literally could go to the beach, go swimming in them, throw on a tank top, and some flip-flops. We call them slippers out there, and go eat lunch and then go back to the beach and kick it. It was cool, man. And people just wear less clothes in, beachy weather. So,
let's get to this real quick, bro, because I know you're on a time frame. Sorry, I wanted to get to this topic, and I actually see our first guest in the back, bro. I'm getting pumped up, and you hang out for as long as you want because you can moderate everything as long as you want to be here. All right, but I want to talk about this first topic, and it was classifying marijuana. So Donald Trump signs an order to reclassify marijuana as a Schedule 3 drug and not a Schedule 1 drug. Okay, so this is what they had to say about it. Let's play this, and I want your response.
Used. At Medicare, we cover 68 million Americans, including people under the age of 65. And they did not have a way of providing these treatments until today. With the president's insistence, that's all changes. The Innovation Center models are going to allow millions of Americans on Medicare to become eligible to receive CBD as early as April of next year, and at no charge, if their doctors recommend them. Thanks to the hard work of the entire CMS team, especially Abe Sutton and Gita Dio at the the Innovation Center, the accountable care organizations in this country working in Medicare will be able to provide these products, again, at no cost to patients. Medicare Advantage insurers, and we've been calling them, are also agreeing to consider CBD to be used for the 34 million Americans that they cover. If you can hear my voice and you...
So CBD, covering the use of CBD, which, you know, depends on which one you get. There's going to be traces of THC in it as well, but that's the stuff that I prefer that marijuana plant. But what's your thoughts on this, bro? First off, I love it, but what's yours?
Yeah, absolutely. There's three quick things. One, the good thing about it now for everyday folks, like if you have a dispensary in your town or it is legal in your state, is that now you can use a credit card to buy it. It's that simple. You don't have to take out cash, you know, and that kind of thing. Although I kind of maybe still recommend doing that. But if you have a legal prescription for it, you can purchase it on all kinds of different ways versus just needing it immediate, straight, hard cash. Secondly, yeah, you can prescribe it. A doctor can legitimately and literally prescribe it now. I think that's 100% great as well. And as you said, CBD. And then the third thing that is an issue, one thing that's in the big, beautiful bill we got to watch out for is Trump is also trying to take care of his big corporate guys here. And you know me, dude, I'm one of the hardcore.
I
Trump
think it's
people.
an attack on some of the corporate guys. I think this is an attack on big
Well,
pharma.
no, because they've
back
outlawed small CBD growers. If you look at the big, beautiful bill, there's an amendment in there that talks about you can't just grow it. You have to now have federal licensing, just like a federal tax stamp that they require you to have on organic growth and stuff like that. So the way it is now, because it's not federally regulated at all, I could grow my own CBD, send it to a certain lab we both agree on. You have a store, you can put it in your store, right? Well, now I grow it. I have to send it to the government. They have to approve it, or I can go to prison.
Okay.
So a lot of small farmers that are currently growing and a lot of independent test labs are about to go out of business. So that part I'm unhappy about. The fact that way more people are getting it and it's way more accessible financially and prescription-wise, I'm very happy about. So good and bad there. Just to be honest, man.
You're right. So, I mean, if they did it, you're right. I'm tending to agree with you on that. I think if they did it, their big pharma buddies are going to figure out a way to make money on it, or they're not going to do it whatsoever.
Yeah.
Right. But I don't know. You know, it's very interesting because that's been a fight that they've been fighting against for a very long time. You know, and when you see a move that's made like this, there's a lot of people that say when they started taking CBD products in general that they got off of a lot of other drugs that they were on. So maybe they do see the cost saving in this. Well, if we could give them for this for free, we could cut out this, and this. I don't know. I hope they're looking at it, you know, that far in depth, but we'll see what happens. Who knows?
Right.
You know, but any last words on that? Let's see. Anybody in the chat? Let's see. Before big government people lived life, now it's all these stupid rules. You're not fucking kidding. Fuck the government. Stop regulating people. Already been doing that. Oh, that's a Yankee 68. Why is it such a deal just to drop off any schedule, putting off your thumb on people? See, that's where I'm at. I get the hard drugs, but even think about heroin's what was that? That was a Schedule 2, I think, drug for. I think it's 2 or 3 heroin. Coke is
Schedule 2.
I think so. Yeah, man. Because it has so many medicinal purposes. Fentanyl is in everything. You know, fentanyl is in the sorry, when we were going to get Valentino, we learned that in the epidural, there's fentanyl in the epidural. Like we were like, wait a second, you're telling me, oh, but it's a minute trace amount. But you're injecting that into my wife's body with the baby so in there, fentanyl. I don't care what they tell me. This little tiny thing will fucking kill you immediately, you piece of shit. But you're gonna still put a little tiny bit into my baby system. Yeah, fuck that. But it's in everything. It's amazing, bro.
Look up mercury for babies. Mercury. You're like, don't touch it, don't drink it, don't ingest it. Mercury is bad for you. Unless we want to inject it in your baby in the form of a vaccine, then it's totally.
Oh, then it's perfectly okay.
Yeah.
All right, but our guest has actually been back
here.
So let's bring them in. And you are muted, my man. You are muted. It looks like, but tell me if I'm saying your name properly because we have only done this over Messenger. This is Leslie Jean Paul, right? Like Jean Paul,
that's right.
Like the singer.
No, you can just call me JC. That's good.
JC.
Yeah.
So JC, bro, welcome to the Caltrop. Like you said, I know that we were going back and forth, and a lot of people have their preconceived notions of who I am, what I do, what I'm about, based on some comments. But no, dude, we welcome you. I'm obviously the host. We have both of us are names Mike. We didn't plan it like that, but somehow we're
Hey,
still too much.
did you
live,
ever-
but good.
Did you ever get Trent Tranny to come up on your? Because that's where I first found you, was on his page. He's a liberal Facebooker, and you would go on there and debate some topics on there, and he always had those real liberal lefty point of views.
What was his name?
Trent Tranny, Trani.
So Trent has never come on the show. I've offered it.
I know
The same way to you. So this is
Yeah.
why I appreciate you coming on.
Yeah.
And just to give everybody a little bit of background and give Mike the background. And if you want, Mike will moderate this for us. But I don't think we're going to need to, bro. Because I have a feeling every time people come on, we have way more in common than people actually think. But,
No, I know we do, because I've looked at your page many times. So
yeah. So the way this worked out was we were in a discussion on another page. I think it was Rupert's page, right? And the conversation went eventually down to how Obama saved this country with the American Recovery and Reinvestment Act. And I basically challenged you to back that up on the show. But I also said we could talk about whatever you wanted to talk about, whatever you want to discuss. So if you wanted to take our online conversation and bring it here and give your thoughts on it real quick, I give you the floor.
who, me?
Yeah, JC.
Yeah, no, mine wasn't on the ACA. I was taught. You and I got into it on the issue of Israel. So
me and you were
Israel. Yeah, me and you were Israel. So
so fucking
Calderese has so many debates going. It's hard to, you know what I mean?
So you're not Leslie John Paul. You got to tell me you're James Carney.
yeah.
Oh, okay. So the first one that was supposed to come on was Leslie, and I
Yeah.
thought that's who you were. I didn't think you were coming on soon. Okay, so this is James. So my bad, everybody.
No, I go
Let's
by
shift gears.
I go by JC. I go by JC at work and everywhere else.
This
so,
was
yeah.
supposed to be. This is supposed to be the 9 o'clock, but he came in early, so that's good. So let's try doing this. Yeah. So
No, I can tell you. I can tell you my views on the ACA if you want, because I know you and I would agree.
No. So ours are talking about Israel. I think this is going to be fun because I think Mike's going to agree with much more about what you're saying. But sorry, this is supposed to be a 9 o'clock debate. We'll move it to 8:30, right? Because I don't see Leslie in the back yet. So
Yeah. I'll defer.
you had an issue with my stance on Netanyahu and Israel. You said I was borderline anti-Semitic, and then called me full-on anti-Semitic today.
No, I did
And-
not. No.
Yeah, you did.
No,
You
no,
did. Yeah,
no.
you did. You said you and your anti-Semitic tropes. I heard.
No,
read it
I did
here
not.
properly.
No. No, I don't believe you. I don't believe you're anti-Semitic. I think you're influenced by a lot of anti-Semitic tropes.
So how now back that up? How do you think I'm influenced? Like, first of all, where do you think
I don't know. I
before
wanted
you
to ask
say
you that.
who's influencing me?
That was one of my questions. Where does this come from? Like, where and
Lived experience.
Can we
Okay,
get a
but-
clarification as
Yeah,
a
fire
quick
away.
moderator? Then I'm going to jump out. But
Far away.
JC, just a quick question. By the way, you have a great voice. Like, you should do radio, man.
He
you have
does.
a great voice. So, and nice to meet you, sir. Very nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Happy
What's your name?
Christmas. Mike as well.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah.
man.
So the quick question here is, are you allowed to have a preference, or is not choosing to put Jewish folks ahead of everyone else just automatically anti-Semitic, right?
No.
Because, for instance, I
No,
go and
that's
get
good.
cereal, right? There's Lucky Charms, there's Cocoa Pebbles, there's Fruity Pebbles, there's Cheerios. I choose the Cocoa Pebbles. It doesn't mean I'm anti-Fruity Pebble. I would just prefer to not have them on my breakfast table. I hope
Yeah,
that
but
everybody that wants them has them and enjoys them. That doesn't mean I'm anti or have any hate, right?
Right.
So you can not like the way somebody's behaving or what they're doing and not hate them for their race or religion. You just don't like what that group happens to be doing and saying, well, you must hate all of them or hate them because of race or religion, versus no, can we look at their behavior? Because I don't care whether you're Amish, BLM, KKK, you know what I mean? I'm looking at your behavior. What are you doing? Because that's
Right.
the most important thing, is your behavior, right?
So yeah, I mean that's a good starting point. I mean, because Fruity Pebbles are allowed in Gaza, but there's this belief that Fruity Pebbles are allowed in Gaza, but they will get thrown off the roof in Gaza if Fruity Pebbles are introduced in Gaza, and that's the problem.
Do we have to say Fruity Pebbles like Fruity Pebbles? Okay.
Exactly. So, so no, I think there's a, a confluence of different ideologies that are coming together right now. And I think that confluence is producing, uh, especially in the right. I think there's a division that's falling down the political right now. And there's this pressure that you do have to choose one or the other, right? You have to either be pro-Pally or pro-Israel. And I think I'm finding that there's also, at the same time that this is happening, there's this huge rise of anti-Semitism. And it's really influencing the opinions of a lot of people. I thought after World War II, there was a lot of anti-Semitism that, I thought in the age that I grew up, and I think you guys probably grew up largely in the same dynamic, but the books that I read, everything that I was taught coming up through school, I thought anti-Semitism was dead. Like I thought, oh wow, man, we defeated that demon, right? Like that's something that's World War II-ish. It's behind us. And I've never seen it emerge like I have since October 7th. And it's just really blown up in this country. So I'm always cautious, and no, I don't think you have to choose necessarily one or the other, but I do think the educated person would choose the party that is our ally. And and you could look at it from probably three different points of view. You could look at it politically, religiously, geopolitically, militarily, and along all of those lines, I still think you would find that America and the ideals in America and the things that we stand for in America align a lot better with our ally Israel.
So you said a lot there. Like I want to hear. I want to hear a lot of what you mean when you say there's a rise in anti-Semitism, and it was correlated to October 7th. What, like, have you stopped to think at any point, why have people hated one specific group of people and ejected this specific group of people from everywhere pretty much that they have been? Why has that taken place throughout all of history? Like, so where do you think anti-Semitism comes from? Just so I
you're talking about the Palestinians who've been ejected from.
No, I'm talking about the Jewish.
And they've been ejected from Egypt, and they've been ejected from Jordan.
Yeah, but so I don't want to play whataboutism because I'm not defending them. I asked you.
I thought that's who you were talking about.
You can relate it to either one of them. Okay, yeah, but so answer that question: why are the Palestinians hated, and why are the Jews hated? Like, where does it come from? Where does it come from?
I don't hate Palestinians. Okay, so I'm not coming from that point of view. So I can't speak to people who have a hatred. I don't hate Jews, so I can't speak to where that's coming from. I can only speculate. So, but I was legitimately surprised after October 7th to see the reemergence of the anti-Semitism that I did. So I can't speculate on where it comes from.
I want to speculate on where it comes from, because this is what I think everyone misses, bro. If we don't try to understand why a certain group of people are not liked, and we just look at this as a superficial thing and we throw labels at it like you're an anti-Semite, that doesn't work. No, everyone does it, right? But when you say the word anti-Semite, but you didn't do it to me in particular, but it happens all the time. I mean, you think about it, Fox News has been nonstop anti-Semite. You turn it on right now, I guarantee within 15 minutes, you're going to hear the word anti-Semite, okay? And what they're trying to do is they're trying to reduce the argument to just you are being a hateful person if you say anything like against the Jews. Like, so I love what Mike said. And Mike, you can chime in with this conversation. I don't want you to feel like just a moderator, bro. I love what Mike said about the thing. Just because I like multiple cereals or don't like multiple cereals, and one I don't like more, that doesn't mean I'm for the other cereals. I think that was a great analogy. I could be equally against everybody. I don't like Palestine in this whole situation. They've been ejected from Jordan to everywhere that they've been. Egypt, you name it, they've been ejected. And it was mass ejections from like the 40s, right? Where they got in and they were just radicalized people. I understand the history of that area, but what people try to tell me is one religion is peaceful and the other religion is evil. And I think that's completely full of shit. And you asked me a question. You said, why do I feel the way I feel? And I answered you lived experience. I'm not going off of what I see, what I hear, what's being reported, how I feel religiously, none of that stuff. I'm going off strictly what I'm witnessing happening in my own county by one group of individuals that everybody claims is some peaceful group that just wants to live the American way. And I say that's bullshit. What I say is when I stare at all these people, I see two groups of people that are in this country doing the exact same thing to this country. The Muslims are doing something to this country, and the Jews are doing something to this country, and they're both doing it in the exact same way. They both are the exact same people. And when I say that, there's no differentiation between the two of them, besides the fact that the Muslims are more outright evil, and the Jewish people are more secretly evil. Okay,
well,
they do their shit
let's
covertly, and the
suppose-
other ones
let's
do it with
suppose that-
fucking bombs and rocks.
Guys, I
let's
gotta run. This is great.
Yeah,
Thank
do
you
your
so
thing,
much
Michael.
for having me. You guys have a wonderful evening. Merry Christmas.
Dude,
to
Merry
all.
Christmas. I'll talk to you
Thank
soon.
Merry
you,
Christmas.
Caltrop. It's been a great year. We're gonna have a great 26. Thank you, Caltrop. Thank you, Cal Reese. Bye-bye.
Later, bro.
let's suppose your arguments are true. Okay, that evil difference and acting on it is a significant difference, right? Because where do you see Jews flying into skyscrapers?
I
Okay,
see them
with
bombing
airliners.
kids.
In America?
Yes, I see them bombing
We're
kids.
talking about what's happening and what
You don't
influences
have
Western
you don't have to
civilization.
drop bombs. You don't have to drop bombs to be evil and take over.
Well, we
Okay,
talked about that.
You don't have to do that. Just because once again, there's overt versus secretive.
Did
So
you
when
did you watch the videos on October 7th? Did you see those videos?
They were 6 hours long. I wondered why they went on for so long. I don't see I don't look at the trees. I see the forest. Okay, I want to see
you
what the
didn't
hell's
you didn't
going
see
on.
the savagery that was involved in that. You didn't
You
take
don't
the
th-
time
do
to
you-
watch those videos.
Do you think that the savagery that Israel has put forth on the Palestinian kids and women isn't savagery as well?
Well, I thought you were looking at this from both sides.
I am. It's both savagery.
But you didn't watch
I don't
the
judge
videos.
one equal to the other. I've seen
You did-
plenty of videos. I don't need to see it. Bro, you know what?
Yes,
watched-
you do.
How do you know?
That's
how do you
the
know-
problem. No,
how
that
do you
is the
know that
problem.
any
We
of that
do
is
need
true?
to
No,
watch
it's not
these.
a problem. It's not a problem.
It is.
I don't
It's a
need-
huge
I
problem.
don't need fear porn to know these people are evil. I don't need that shit. Cutting people's heads off in the middle of a square or shooting people is no less evil to me than bombing women and children and saying, well, they were being used as a shield. To
They
me,
were.
that's an unacceptable. It doesn't matter. You don't blow up the fucking shield.
It's
That's
the actual.
evil.
It's actually the strategy
concept.
of Hamas. Okay, and there's this
So go
and there's
door
this
to door and clear buildings
there-
like our fucking Marines did in Iraq. That's what they have
there
to
is
do.
this.
You can't just bomb people. Both are fucking evil. If we can't agree that killing women and children are evil, and it's equivalent to what they did on October 7th, then we're never going to be in the same ballpark and even coming close to agree with this. I
Okay,
view
look,
killing
there-
is killing.
This could go about 5 different directions at this point. Okay,
But
there
let's,
is not.
let's just come. Let's agree to disagree on that, or let's at least set that as standard. Do you view dropping bombs on women and children as equal evil as killing people on October 7th?
Well, that's not what's happening.
That's exactly
you're
what's
buying-
happening.
No, you're buying into the legacy media.
No, I'm not. That is exactly what's happening.
Every single attack from Israel is chronicled on the IDF Telegram website. Have you ever
How many
went and looked?
civilians do you think? How many civilians do you think are killed for every combatant?
How many civilians do you think were killed in the Gulf War that America
I'm
perpetrated?
asking you a question. What does the IDF ask? What does the IDF
as
say?
as a percentage of war efficiency, and they
What
do
is
study it this
What
way.
has the IDF said? The IDF has said that 1 to 2 to 1 are civilians. The real numbers that they put out, that multiple different organizations have put out, are 83% of the people that are killed have been civilians.
and later those the actual UN that first put those out came back and they reversed themselves and said those numbers were inaccurate. But it didn't
No.
get as much. It did not get as much publicity because the legacy media has a narrative that they want to follow on this.
It's not about the legacy media.
Yes,
This is not a legacy media. No, this is not.
because that's where you're getting your
This
information.
no, I'm getting it from the IDF. The IDF admits that 2 to 1, this is their numbers. This is what they said. Netanyahu admitted on national TV that it was 1 to 1. And then the other one was a 2-to-1. So that's 50%. Now that's 65%. They're admitting that it's as high as 61%. So if it's a 1-to-1 ratio, that's a 50-50 mix. That means 50% of everybody that they have killed have been civilians. That means women and children. Okay, non-combatants. That's what they said. Netanyahu said it on national TV. The IDF went on to say that it's more like 2-to-1. So 2-to-1 is what? 66.6. That's 66% their numbers. The other numbers are as high as 83. You see, they're all in the same ballpark here. They're all over 50%. They're either 50% of or higher of killing women and children. And everyone uses the excuse of, oh, but Hamas uses them as shields. So why do you blow up the shield? You have multiple different ways you can fight this war. The way Israel chose to do it was to say, fuck everybody. We're leveling and bombing the shit out of everybody. America was not afforded that opportunity to do that during any of our wars. That's why we have Marines. We could have, you know how many lives we could have saved if we just bombed the shit out of Iraq and blew everything the fuck up? No, we didn't do that. We went in, the Marines went in, friends of mine went in, kicking in fucking doors and searching for people and eliminating threats and saving civilians. We were forced to fight that way because we had to minimize the civilian casualties, or the whole world would have came down on us. But what happens? Israel gets to just bomb the fuck out of women and children without any discrepancy, no matter what, over every excuse. I find that to be ridiculous, and I find that excuse to be ridiculous. Where am I wrong there?
Oh my God, you're on a fucking diatribe, okay? Because you've already decided. You've already decided that that's fucking true. Everything that you said, you've decided it's true. It's not fucking true. How do you separate Hamas from a civilian? When you walk into Gaza, how do you fucking separate it, Michael?
Okay, women and children, that's one way, right?
How did
women
and children
in Iraq? How did we separate them in Iraq? They all look the same as in Iraq. What do? You go in there the same way we did in Iraq.
Let's just talk about the men of fighting age. Stop.
You asked me a question.
How do you separate them? How do you separate the men of fighting age?
This is
okay.
What you do.
Leave the women and children out of it.
You do exactly what we did inside Iraq.
You think they all dressed up when they paraded the hostages across the stage?
Stop it.
When they paraded the hostages. Never. I can't get a word fucking in edgewise.
You asked me a question though. Do you want me to answer your question or not?
Not if it's going to go on for 15 fucking minutes.
Well, you won't fucking shut up long enough for me to answer your question.
Bullshit. You've been on a fucking diatribe since I got up here.
Good. That's how it should be. It's my show. You asked me a question.
Then go.
How do you do it?
Fucking talk to yourself then.
You do it very simple, bro. You get people. You see, there you go. I love these fucking pissy guys.
Fuck you.
There you go. You back?
Yeah.
Oh, you left for a second. Okay. So listen.
I had to fucking scream.
This is very, very easy to do. The same way we did in Iraq, if you were going to listen. You tell everybody to get out. Everybody's still there. You go and you sweep door to door to door.
And they're all going to be wearing their little uniforms like they did when they paraded the hostages across the stage, right? They're all going to be dressed up in their little green fucking bandana and say, I'm Hamas, but this is a fucking civilian right here. That's what they're going to do for you, right, Michael?
I thought they were using them as shields. I thought they were all hiding behind them. How about you just shoot the people behind the first people?
No, I'm telling you, you can't fucking separate the two.
Shields.
When you raise a little jihadi from fucking 6 years old, you tell him, look, we're raising you. And the mother says, I'm gonna get slave for pay if I raise this little jihadi to fucking run at 13 years old into a group of IDF soldiers and blow his ass up.
So now all the kids are now bombers. All the kids are bombers.
Who do you think fucking elected Hamas?
The kids?
Who do you think fucking who do you think elected Hamas?
You think all of the kids?
The civilians.
Yes, I get that, but are they every single one of them, all 100% of those people, women, children, they all deserve to die? That's your statement right here. They all deserve to die because 100 people attacked fucking Israel. Is this what we're saying?
I'm telling you, in war efficiency. Hold on, my light went out.
Yes, war efficiency. You carpet bomb people. We weren't allowed to do that in Iraq.
No,
why
I'm not
isn't
talking
Israel
about that.
held to the same standards?
I'm talking about the efficiency of unaliving people in Gaza and delineating between who's a civilian and who's Hamas. Okay, it's been looked at. Israel is not on the wrong side of that.
Yes,
They've
they
made,
are.
they've dropped knockers.
Who's looked
They've
at
dropped knockers on the buildings before they blow them up. Okay.
Oh, real good. Hey, get out, and then all of a sudden
Fuck yeah. Why do you think war has to be proportional?
Why do they have
Where's this mindset coming from that we got fucking invaded and our kibbutzim, they've been fucking raided by Hamas. Women and children have been slaughtered. Kids were drug out in the streets and slaughtered. There was children cut from the bellies of pregnant mothers. And I'm not done. Children were cut from the bellies of pregnant mothers. And you think war has to be proportional in this? Okay, let's make it proportional. Let's go into Gaza and let's gut babies from the mother's stomachs. Okay,
No,
if you really want to be proportional, let's fucking do that.
The other. This is the problem I have, especially with people that claim that they're religious. You're religious, right? How are you saying that they killed women and children, so now we're going to kill their women and children, and we're doing it all because God is?
I'm not saying that.
What would
I'm
Jesus
saying that
say
that's
about
not you're ascribing that as the intention of the IDF, and it is not their intention.
That's what they're doing.
This is a highly urban environment.
You say, bomb that building, knowing that there's
no, I'm not saying that.
You're doing
Quit putting words in my mouth.
No, I'm saying that's what they're doing. If
they're not doing that.
Bombing, yes, they are. They know.
Okay, why is there a fucking
and they're blowing it up?
Why is there 1 million people down in tents in southern Gaza right now? If they wanted to commit it,
was in rubble.
Look, if they wanted to commit a genocide, okay, if they wanted to do that, it would have been over in 3 days. All of Gaza would have been fucking gone.
Consider Gaza. It is gone. It's a pile of rubble right now. It would take a concrete crusher 20 years to get through all of that if it ran 24/7 and you had 30 of them. Okay, that entire place is rubble and concrete. And what you did, you left a whole bunch of civilians without any place to go. So now, yes, now they're living in tents, begging for aid because they have nowhere else to go. Yeah, that's really religious. Yeah, that's really the right thing to do, is bomb the shit out of civilians instead of going after your fucking enemy. You know, there's so many different ways.
You think one person in Gaza before October 7th would give fucking two shits about you?
You keep making these whataboutisms. I don't give a fuck about that side. They're pieces of shit too. But just this is the point. This is the point.
That was real Christian of you.
People die based on their leaders' movements, right? And you watch it on both sides. And none of it is justified. None of it is justified death. And the only thing that's going to continue is if somebody either completely eliminates the other side, which isn't obviously going to happen. And if they do, like the Israel is trying to do right now, this is why people hate them. Yes, they are. This is why people hate them, because people know
Israel's the only nation that's required to provide the needs and necessities of all the people down in Gaza.
And they're not
as an enemy combatant.
That is bullshit. They're not. Stop.
Yeah, that's the standard the world holds them to. That's the standard.
They're not. Why are the people denying it? They're sleeping in their tents trying to live their own way.
If you could give a shit about the people in Gaza. If you said your words, if you don't give a shit about them in Gaza, why the fuck are you arguing so hard for them?
Because it's very simple. Because Israel is the problem, and nobody's able to see it. I don't give a fuck.
When are you going to hold a live about
your damn question? Because you keep asking me questions and you don't let me answer.
Let me just make one more point, and I'll let you go. When are you going to
hold? Let me fucking go. You're going to answer me a question. You're going to answer a question. You're going to ask me a question, or you're going to hear the answer. That's how it's going to work, right?
I didn't ask you a question.
Me your question.
I got to make one point, and then I'm going to shut up. When are you going to hold a live stream about the 52,000 Nigerians, Christian Nigerians that are being fucking slaughtered?
That was 3 fucking weeks ago. Watch the show. I did it 3 weeks ago, and I'm one of the only people talking about Christians being killed. So let's stop with the bullshit whataboutism. All right. And let's stick to the fucking topic at hand. You're such a Christian, yet you just spent 30 minutes.
Don't attack my Christianity. My Christianity is not fucking on trial here.
Arguing about
my Christianity is not on trial.
Yeah, it is, because Jesus would not approve of what Bibi Netanyahu.
You're not even a Christian. You don't even. You're an atheist.
You know what? I know more about it than you do. I bet I live more like a Christian.
Bullshit. You don't know fucking shit about my Christianity.
Jesus would be agreeing with me right now, saying every one of you guys are wrong. You all need to stop. But stop killing people, stop blowing everything up, and stop doing it in Jesus's or God's or Yahweh's or fucking Allah's name. It's absolute ridiculous what you fucking religions are
I'm
doing.
sorry, your
in the name of
utopian
God.
isn't going to fucking work in this world. Your utopia mentality. What's going to be?
What's
Answer this question.
utopia? Living
Yeah.
in heaven is your utopia fucking fantasy, and it's bullshit. Okay, everyone's doing this for their own version of heaven. All right,
Okay.
let's face facts. Let's face facts and stop
All right.
bullshit.
Mine's not 72 virgins. I'm sorry.
That sounds pretty fucking good, doesn't it?
Maybe you.
Yeah, you're right. I don't know. I don't think virgins would be a very good time. That doesn't sound like a very good heaven, right? Wait, what's that, Valhalla or some shit like that?
Right?
But no, listen,
Look.
bro. Like, here's the problem. The problem with this entire thing is I view murder as murder. It's the same thing. It's this. I feel like I'm having the abortion argument with a liberal. It's not murder because of these stipulations and circumstances and all this other shit. And I feel like I'm doing it the same way with you right now. What I'm trying to say is Jesus, if he
It's
was
not
here right
comparable.
now, he would not be. Jesus would not appreciate what's happening under the Old Testament's name or under any type of Bible's name. He would not be cool with this. Can we agree that Jesus would deplore this type of activity? Can we at least agree
Yes.
on that?
Yep.
Okay, so I'm more like Jesus than you're being right now.
Okay. Well, then you know what? Don't believe in the just war doctrine. Don't believe in the doctrines of the church for a justified defense. You just forgive everybody that comes in here into the United States that doesn't want to assimilate and wants to make a one world caliphate. You go ahead and do that. Okay. Because that's what Jesus would do, right?
When did I ever say I wanted that? When did I ever say because?
Well, how you
I'm
going
against
to
them,
stop it? How are you going to stop,
Do
Michael?
you really want me to tell you? Because
Yeah.
I'm fighting it. I'm literally fighting this battle in my own fucking community right now. Here's how you stop the religious takeover by anyone, and you can't single out one group of people. This is what nobody understands. It cannot be singled out to one religion. It has to be around 3 or 4 or all of them. Okay, you have to make a law that goes against all of them. Now, in the 90s, you had Bill Clinton and a Republican Congress, and it was unanimous. They signed the RLUIPA laws. These RLUIPA laws give religions the right to do things that the regular person would not do, and it's designed to give them freedom and from oppression. But what you have right now is you have groups of people that are using their religion to take advantage of our system to hinder the Americans that are living in America right now. And you take the religion. There's Punjabis out in California. There's the Muslims out in Dearborn, Michigan. There's the Jews right here in Lakewood, New Jersey. And they're spread into Ocean County, New Jersey. That's my area. This is what we're talking about now. These people manipulate the laws. They don't want to assimilate. They have a complete town, complete neighborhoods, complete towns where it's only them. You're living in a theocracy. You can only shop at Jewish shops, Jewish or a couple Mexican shops where it's because they have Mexican and Jews in that town. That's all it is. And what happens is they take all of the money out of the township. The schools suffer. Lakewood School is $255 million in debt. And it depletes all of the resources from the regular Americans, and all the resources go to only one community. That is a very big problem that's destroying American communities in America through religion. Okay, so to answer your question fully, do I stand with the Muslims? No, fuck no. If it was Muslims in Lakewood, New Jersey, doing what they're doing in Dearborn, Michigan, I'd be fighting against them just as hard as I am the Jewish people here. Okay, my problem is when you try to gain favor in this country through your religion, and that is what's happening. And if you don't see it, what's taking place is we are having very big Muslim populations growing that only want to be Muslim. We have very big Jewish populations growing that only want to be with Jews. And then you have now the Christians that are getting pissed off. And I've been saying it for a really long time that the Christians are the only ones nice enough that they get walked over, so they have to rise up and start fighting. The fighting is inevitable. This is where I'm coming from. The only thing I see when religions get together and they can't agree is fighting. And this is, if you don't understand where I'm coming from, that is that in a nutshell. It's always going to end up in fighting. And I don't understand how fighting and evil continues with people that claim that they're good.
I want examples how the Jewish people in your community are making you do things to fit within their theocracy.
Oh, okay. How would you seriously? Oh, this is fucking wow. Let's go. Step one, number one, we have to provide the busing for them. So our schools, they have busing that is segregated busing. So male and female. We don't have that. It's them. So if they live in Brick or Toms River or Jackson, for example, let's take Jackson. Jackson has to bus kids to Lakewood, and it runs Monday through Friday, including Sundays. They're off on Saturday because that's their holy day, okay? But the buses run, but they also run, like I said, they're segregated busing, so it's double. So when you take Jackson Township, for example, Jackson Township's school budget for what they call their pass-through budget, that's for busing other kids through, was in the low hundreds of thousands in 2017. By right now, in the last budget in 2024, they had a pass-through budget of $20 million. They didn't get supplemented by the state for that pass-through budget. So what happened to Jackson Township? Jackson Township lost one of their schools. One of their schools had to close down because they no longer had the funding to keep both of the schools open. So what happened to our kids? So what happens to our kids is while the Lakewood schools thrive with all the private school money, our kids lost one of their schools. Now they have to deal with higher classrooms. So their classes went from like 1 to 20 something to now one of every like 34. They have 34 kids in the classroom. When you look at that stuff, one of their buses closed. Things like what happened in my school. We don't even have, when my son was a senior, I didn't have a bus to get him to his high school or to his high school baseball games. We had to drive them. We had to drive multiple kids to their game and back. We didn't have a bus. And half the time, they didn't have umpires because we didn't have the funding for it because we lost all that money. That's just number one. Now take number two. We'll stick with Jackson. Take someone in Jackson. It's a little bit more rural of a community. You have pizzerias. You have a bar. You have this type of thing, that type of thing. Well, what happens is when you have the Jewish people that come in, they have a strict way of living that is outside everything else. So they only eat kosher. They only shop at certain things. They only buy certain things. They don't go out to restaurants, none of that stuff. So what happens? They get 10%, 15% in their area. Now bars start closing down. Restaurants start closing down. So now what happens is they start building and building and building. And now you have a Jewish restaurant pop up and you have Jewish closed stores and you only have one option. And then what happens from there is they vote themselves on boards. And then next thing you know, you have like what's going on in Lakewood right now, where you're living in a theocracy. Lakewood is a full-on theocracy without anybody voting for it in a real way. It was just taken over. There's no other group. There's no other religious group that has an entire neighborhood. Not only that, has an entire town that they own all of the real estate in, control all of it. They have their own police force. They have their own ambulance service. Okay, this is not people that are living inside the community. These are people living in a community that's outside of every other community. So that's just two examples. I could go on for hours. How many more do you want?
What law have they broken?
Many of them.
What law?
Holy shit! So they've been convicted of welfare fraud. But that's, if we're being very honest, one of the problems is that they get in and they make favorable laws. They make favorable laws for themselves, and they go to the courts, and the courts grant them all this shit. And this is part of the problem that you're not understanding. When I say these people are a problem, the people that are very, very powerful know how to buy off the right people to get the right laws made so it suits them and them fucking only. So yes, do they break laws? Yes. Do they stretch laws to their limits? Yes. And do they make them get favorable laws for themselves? Absolutely. Like the Arlupa laws.
I'm not seeing a law broke.
You're laughing at it because you look ignorant. There's many viewers right now that know what's going on in Ocean County.
Jewish people make up 2% of the United States.
You're coming at it from a completely ignorant.
You're coming at it. You've got a microcosm of a beef that you have locally, and you've extrapolated that. And
how is that different than Gaza?
Can I finish?
Go ahead.
And you've extrapolated that and applied it to all of Jews, and now Israel is a part of this.
Not all Jews. Get it right. If you're going to try to assume things on me, it's not all. Get it right. I didn't say all Jews.
Okay,
all Jews benefit. All Jews benefit from the actions of their people. But you said try to extrapolate. Okay, let's take what's going on in my area where they completely take over an area and they're spreading out and they're trying to take over other areas. What does that sound familiar to the Palestinian argument about them taking over Gaza, which they're soon to do by blowing it all the fuck up?
They're not going to try to take over Gaza. They unilaterally withdrew from Gaza in 2005 and 6.
Who's replacing it? Who's replacing it now?
They
Who's going back in? You don't think Israel's going to have full control over the Gaza Strip now?
I don't think.
Oh, bullshit.
Nope.
Stop playing pretend right now. They
No.
have full control over
They
the
don't want
Strip
Gaza.
right now.
Gaza is God. No, they don't want Gaza.
Bullshit. They've always wanted Gaza.
No.
The true Zionists want the original.
Then why did they
formation of
unilaterally
Israel.
withdraw in
Don't
2005
say
and
that
2006?
because Benjamin Netanyahu himself, who's a true Zionist, says he wants the original formation of Israel, which includes parts of Lebanon, parts of Syria, which, if you notice, they have bombed Lebanon, they have bombed Syria, they have bombed everywhere around there, everywhere where there's Jewish settlements of the original footprint of what Israel was supposed to be, which is a very big, expansive area that includes.
So what do you want? What do you want in those areas?
I don't want shit for those areas.
No, what do you want?
I want. You know what I want? I would
You want
love it.
you want Hezbollah to the north?
What's
you
that?
want
I
Hezbollah?
don't give a fuck, dude. They're not
Then
bothering me.
why are you
They're
defending?
not
Why,
fucking bothering me. They're
then-
not. You know who's bothering me? The Jewish Hezbollah is not my fucking enemy. They have not. They do not come here and fucking do anything in America. They don't. Who's a bigger issue to America, Hezbollah or Israel? If you think Israel is some
Hezbollah,
great friend of
ISIS-
ours, you're crazy. They
Oh,
stole nukes from us and they won't even admit they have them. This is an ignorant conversation, bro. Because
No,
Israel
what's
does not
ignorant?
act as our ally.
What's ignorant is you failed to recognize that Hezbollah has been listed on our terrorist list. So has Hamas. So have the Houthis.
Also,
For decades. How do you think they fucking got on the terrorist list?
What
the
have
foreign
they
terrorist
done in
organization.
America? What
How
have
do
they
you
done in
think they-
America? And I don't like Hamas. I'm not defending Hamas. Just I would like to
I
ask,
can't-
what have they done in America?
Just go, because I can't fucking get. As
What
soon as
has
I start
Hamas
talking,
done in
as soon as
America?
I
It's a
start
simple
talking, you
question.
fucking interrupt me.
What's
So-
Hamas done in America? I'm asking an honest question.
They're all a part of the Muslim Brotherhood, which has a 100-year plan to take over America. Do you see what's happening in Europe? Do you
And
see
how
what's
are they
happening in
doing it?
Canada?
How are they doing it? Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you right now. We're making progress.
Then
I
why
think
the
they
fuck are
wanna
you
take
trying
over. I
to?
think they
Then why are
wanna
you
take
trying to
over.
put me on the spot?
No, I think they want to take over, but they haven't attacked. What are they doing now? They're getting their people elected. They're getting them in office.
That's right.
I
It's a
agree with that.
silent jihad. You're correct.
Yes. So how is that any different from what the Jews, what I just explained to you, what the Jews are doing? What I'm trying to stop is all of it. It sounds like I'm going at Israel in and of itself, but I've lambasted Dearborn, Michigan, nonstop, where they play the fucking Muslim call to prayer at 5:30 in the morning. I'm against every bit of it. This is the part that I think you're missing here. Because I say that Israel's a problem does not mean I think those people aren't. I think they're a fucking problem. I think they're a problem. And I think both could be true at the exact same time. And I don't want for America to be taking sides in an area that has been absolute dog shit for years. I don't. They're the Middle East. We have been fighting this shit for 25 years of my life now. Half my life, we've been bombing the shit over there. When is it going to stop? When the fuck is it going to stop? And if we're being honest, when you look at it, you have groups of people that are taking advantage of the hate and the evil. The Muslims take advantage of it. The Jews are taking advantage of it. If they just continue fighting, they can continue using the other side's hate as an excuse to gain. This is all a fucking show.
Let me know when
bro.
I can make a point. So,
Fire away. Do it.
all right. There's approximately 20 million Jews in the world, right? There's 1.6 billion Muslims in the world. There's 56 Muslim nations. Okay. You're pointing this idea that the Jewish people want to take over the world with fucking 20 million people, 7 million of them, which live here in the United States. You've got this philosophy that they're going to fucking take over the United States when you got 1.6 billion Muslims in the world. And it's been estimated that maybe anywhere between 15 to 30% can be radicalized at any minute to carry out terrorist attacks. All right. So you know what that equates to in a number? That equates to the actual population of the United States. Okay. And you're making a false equivalency that 17 million people to 20 million Jews in the world have this intention to fucking take over the United States because you're dealing with a microcosm of a community that's highly Jewish, probably Orthodox in the area where you live in. And they're having a lot of influence on busing and schools and laws. And you're extrapolating that and saying that their intentions are somehow on the fucking same level as 320 million radicalized jihadis throughout the world under the Muslim Brotherhood that want to fucking see the fall of Western civilization. That's a false equivalency. That's what that is.
Okay, so let's just take that, because everyone throws that number out there, and I agree with it. I've used that number, right? And I do think there's a lot of radicalized Muslims, right? But you say there's 55 Muslim countries in the world. Let me ask you a question. Out of those 55 Muslim countries, are their combined political strength is anywhere near as influential as Israel right now, when they have as much control as they do with inside American politics?
Because look at what Trump's doing with courting Saudi
Who's more
Arabia.
powerful?
Well, let me just make this point. Look at what Trump is doing with courting Saudi Arabia and Qatar recently. Look at the relationship that he has through the Abraham Accords. All right. Look at his unwillingness, even though they tried to assassinate him, his unwillingness to fucking attack Iran. All right. So yeah, who has fucking influence? Does Israel have that fucking predominant influence that you're suggesting?
The only reason why we dropped anything on Iran in the first place is because Benjamin Netanyahu. Yes, AIPAC funds almost all of our politicians. That is just fact. I think Israel has a gigantic stranglehold, as well as China has a gigantic stranglehold on a lot of people in our political scene. 100%. I think it's terrible. But I look at it and go, there's 55 Muslim countries. Right, like you said, there's 2 million Jewish people living, or Muslim people living peacefully in Jerusalem, and they're not getting attacked inside there.
That's right.
Right. So the 55 Muslim countries, I don't see them all attacking everybody. As a matter of fact, you know who I watched drop more bombs recently is 100% Israel. Right. So if there's such a problem, 1.8 million people, and you have the whole country of America that could be radicalized maniacs. Why don't we see way more radical Islamic terrorism?
I think you're going to start seeing it more. Iran, after we did take out
you're definitely going to.
Can I finish?
I agree.
Iran, when we took out their nuclear facilities, all right, you saw the Ayatollah come out and he said what? He said, now is the time for the worldwide intifada. He called for it to happen, and we're starting to see it fucking happen. All right. So it's going to get a lot worse. And yeah, those 55 nations, all right, they haven't got themselves organized yet, and they haven't got themselves. You have one nation, one Jewish nation, Israel, and all they want is to be left alone. Are they clearing a little bit? Are they clearing yes, that's all they fucking want.
That is not what they want.
Absolutely, that's what they want.
They don't want to be left alone. They want to control everything. They want to control every aspect of everything, including all the communications, including all the money. Bro,
everything?
Let's not pretend here. Everything. They right now own the majority of everything, from the banks to the communications.
This is where it gets fucking wacky.
The intel. This isn't wacky. This is verifiable fact,
man.
This is verifiable fact. Look at all of the biggest names are Jewish throughout the entire country.
This is where it goes. This is where it goes fucking off the rails all the fucking time. The Jews are behind the banks. The Jews run the media. If they run the fucking media, how come every fucking headline is about what's going on and how poor and sad it is in Gaza right now? People who could give a fuck about you and me.
You want to know why? Why? I'll answer that question for you. Because they thrive off of anti-Semitism. This is what nobody understands. Ever since the Holocaust, they have learned to thrive off of hate. Actually, I think it's been going on for a lot longer than that. There's no other group that thrives more off of people hating them than the Jews.
Except Palestinians.
The Jews, fuck no. Palestinians don't have any power whatsoever.
Oh, yeah.
They're starving right now.
That's
the
what
Jews right now are able to take the hate that they create, the hate that everyone has for them, and they use it to their advantage. So when you do that and you're able to take the hate that others have and use it to your advantage, you will create and want way more hate. It's very, very, very simple. Okay. And they have been able to use everybody else's hate as a weapon against them. That's why you see right now, Trump just appointed that Jewish guy to a very prominent position in the State Department under Marco Rubio. And his entire stated goal is to stop anti-Semitism. And when you looked at what he said, it was going to be to change the way people think about Jews, to change the way they talk, to change how they talk. That means they're going to ban speech pretty soon. They're going to be doing some anti-American stuff. And this is how it happens. It's slow little bites at the apple here. And before you know it, it's complete infiltration in the way.
What's happening is very, very similar to the brown shirts. You're starting to fall into this trap where you're going to demonize Jews and say that this mass conspiracy of using anti-Semitism is this idea that they're going to use it to the extreme that it's going to propel them into power over the whole fucking world. That's absolutely absurd.
Is it?
That's absolutely absurd.
That's done throughout all of human history. How's it absurd? Tell me how a powerful Jew like Bibi Netanyahu was somehow different than the other powerful maniacs that have ruled this earth.
I'm going to tell you something. If 40,000 rockets and ballistic missiles had hit Israel, we wouldn't be talking about.
Answer my question. Why
we would not be talking?
Netanyahu, some holy ass fucking guy. You're telling me
because if he wanted to fucking wipe out Gaza, if he wanted to wipe out Gaza in the West Bank, he could have fucking done it in 3 days.
That's not what I asked. Answer my question.
No, you're ascribing to him some evil fucking worldwide pinky in the brain plot.
No, what I'm saying is this is true throughout human history. People have used control and power to kill, maim, murder, and take over forever, and they've used lies and they've used false flags. How many? It's a supply. I mean, they've been doing with supply and demand. This type of shit has happened throughout all of our history, and somehow you're denying like it doesn't exist.
How about
I'm saying all of them suck, dude. This is what they all are doing this.
How about the fact that Bibi's in the right place at the right time, just like Churchill? Churchill was called a murderer. Churchill was called a fucking war criminal, just like you like to do. Okay, Churchill is, but now we know that Churchill kept fucking fascism and Nazism from moving all the way fucking through Europe. All right. But back then there was a lot of people that called him a war criminal. All right. When he bombed Dresden, all right, and civilians were under the blanket of fucking carpet bombing, he was called a fucking war criminal. All right. But there's a museum dedicated for that. I mean, there's a museum dedicated to Churchill now, and I've been through it in London. Now look,
does that make his actions correct? Because now we accept him as okay? Again, we're talking about.
I think what's happened. I think after 5 attempts of fucking trying to give the Fakistinians a state, okay, after 5 attempts over 80 years, and maybe
Fakistinians. How could you even say that? These are people that were there before we gave Israel their land.
Can I finish?
Can I finish? You can't finish.
No, the Sephardic Jews have always been the indigenous people on the land.
Always my ass. Based on what? Based on
archaeology, based on fucking written literary history. Where's your archaeology and literary history for the Fakistinians?
That place has been conquered and reconquered.
See, you fucking love them. You're defending them.
Original ancestors to the land.
I don't give a shit about the Gazans. Bullshit. You fucking love them.
It doesn't mean dick, bro. The fact that they were there first. Yeah. Wait, let's take it, which you're wrong, but let's take it as fact. Yes, they were there first. Well, they got their ass kicked off the land. They broke the covenant with God. They actually got expelled out of the Garden of Eden and shit. Yeah, exactly. Yep. Yeah, you want to talk
several times?
They were kicked out several times. Exactly.
Several times.
So now all of a sudden they had nowhere else to go. They've been kicked out of everywhere in the world, and then we take part of Palestine and give it back to them, England and America.
No, it wasn't called Palestine. When did the word Palestine get ascribed?
That were living there, that they call themselves Palestinians.
Listen, when did the word Palestine first?
We took their land and gave it to Israel. That is fact.
Can I ask a question, please?
They fought for more. Go ahead.
When did the word Palestine first get ascribed to the trans-Arab people that lived in the Levant?
I think England gave it to them in like 1890 or something like that.
And was that to the people or to the region?
It was to the region. Why? Because of the historical Philistines that lived back in the area.
No, the Philistines were wiped out by the Ottoman Empire.
Yes, exactly. The same Israelites are not the same people they are today. Half the people that say
the Byzantine Empire
aren't Semites. I got news for you. They're not even Semites.
The Sephardic Jews are.
We're talking about totally different people.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's a very small chunk of people that are existing today.
Yeah.
Okay,
and you know what happened in Hebron?
We're talking about 2 totally different groups of people. But why? Because it was historical Philistines, which is now Palestine. Israelite Philistines.
No, the Philistines of old were fucking wiped out. The Philistines of old were fucking wiped out.
Group of fucking people.
No, they aren't. The people in Gaza right now are Egyptians. The people
were
in Gaza now are
essentially wiped out.
Egyptians.
No, they're all this. They're all
No.
inbreeding in that same area. They're all from that same fucking ridiculous bloodline. It's the same thing.
I'm not allowed to fucking describe women and children being used as human shields, but you can fucking call them all inbred. Okay, well, go ahead.
If you look at Muslims, the majority of Muslims are inbred, and the fact of the matter is, you have a high inbred, you have a very high inbreeding culture within Jewish and Muslim communities. That's why
Michael,
the average
Michael,
Muslim
I agree.
is like under 100 IQ. This is a fact, and this is why they have way higher rates of birth defects. Look this up. Go ahead and Google
I baited you into saying
it's facts,
it so that I
though.
wouldn't.
You didn't bait nothing. It's
Listen,
a fact.
you're not listening. You're not listening.
okay,
I baited you into saying it so that I wouldn't have to. I fucking agree with you 100%.
Oh, good. I don't care. You don't have to bait nothing. I'll say whatever I have to say, bro. But no, I don't think you understand. I don't think you understand how. I don't think you understand where I'm coming from. I don't think anybody understands where I'm coming from.
I get a better idea where you're coming from.
We have nothing but murderers, and I'm staring at nothing but murderers. And I'm not going to approve one justifiable murder to the next. And I think they're all fucking crazy. And when I see it, honestly, I see issues, and the only solutions that we have is we have to treat everybody equally. So because I agree with the Christians, with mostly I do. Okay, I grew up Catholic. I went to Catholic high school, went to Catholic college. I studied theology under the guy who taught the priests. Okay, just because I live that way and I agree with Christianity means I cannot just take their side and say I choose them, because I'll be the same as everybody else, bro. I'm not just going to defend the side that I agree with. I have to say fuck all sides, because that's the only way this thing works. And I think they're all
we've
wrong.
spent a lot of time on religion.
Yeah,
let's take religion out. Let's take religion out of it for a second. Okay. Who's our best friend in the Middle East, geopolitically, democratically, and militarily? Who's our best friend
in the Middle East? I would say right now Saudi Arabia, probably.
Oh, you fucking!
I will never be convinced that Israel's our friend. You're never going to convince me of it. I don't care.
Why? Where does that come from?
They are not.
That comes from Lakewood fucking town council.
No,
where does that come from?
No. That comes from the fact that back in the day they stole a nuke from us, and they're still denying that they ever did it. But it's well documented now that they most likely have the fucking thing. Our CIA and our FBI came out and said they most likely have it. They still won't admit they're a nuclear power, even though they are a nuclear power. They're the only ones that stay outside of the nuclear power regulations. There's no inspectors that are going inside Israel to do any of their nuclear research. They act outside of everybody else, bro. They are not our friends. They're dragging us into war. They drag us into bombing the shit out of Iran. Let me ask this: what has Israel done for us to make them our best friend?
I'm glad you brought that up, because recently their technology just found a way that is quite possibly a cure for non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. Some of the best medicine advances have come out of Israel. This is what they give to the world.
Funded by who?
No, we do not fund them, and that's bullshit. I'm not going to let you go there. No, I'm not going to let you go there. Let me finish my points, because you don't want me to talk about all the.
No, good. Say it. I want you to answer it. Sorry.
And then I want you to tell me all the world attributes and advances that Gaza gave the world. After I'm done, so.
No, I don't give a fuck about Gaza. This is an either-or proposition.
Seems like you do. You want to fucking defend them.
No,
when Palestine, the first time.
Stop with that argument. Because I'm ripping Israel doesn't mean I support Gaza. I fucking don't support either one of them. Get that argument out of it. We got to stop going to that bag of bullshit.
Okay, well then who's the bigger threat?
Finish what you were saying. I want you to finish what you were saying.
Yeah, I mean, so a lot of the best medical advances, they took our F-35 and made it even more advanced. Okay. And then that technology, is coming back to the United States. Cellular technology that comes from Israel. All right. A lot of the most advanced cellular technology. Beepers. Remember the little beepers? Boom, boom. All right.
Yeah. The exploding pagers. I remember them. Go ahead.
Yeah. That's probably, look, they make advances in science and technology, and they benefit the world with a lot of things that they do, specifically medicine. All right. I'll tell you one thing without putting all my shit out there. An Israeli doctor has saved my life with a liver transplant. He was one of the best fucking doctors in the world. All right. So look, I'm not going to sit here and say that Saudi Arabia is our fucking best friend in the Middle East. That is fucking
Probably
preposterous.
right now, I would say.
Nah, that's
They're
bullshit.
not getting us into war. They're not getting us. Listen, and this is again, you have to clarify this stuff. Has some certain Israeli companies and Israeli businesses that come from very smart individual people? Yes, I do work for Jews all the time. There's families that I absolutely adore. The regular everyday Jewish person, I don't have a problem with. The regular everyday, I had a Muslim kid working for me. He was one of the nicest kids I've ever met in my life. One of the most respectful, well-spoken. He did everything I asked him to do. He was a great kid. And I met his family, and his family were just as nice, right? The regular everyday people, there's those people, and then there's the people that are powerful. And everybody is ruled by the 3% or the 1% or the 1% of 1%. All right. But the vast majority of people are very good. But there are certain groups that benefit more from the crazy motherfuckers in their upper echelon, in their culture. So when I talk about these places, bro, like I said, Israel, when you say they have done or they're one of our biggest allies because they gave cell phones, that's not a relationship between America and Israel. That's actually a relationship between Israel and a company in Israel and the rest of the world, right? So yes, some of their doctors, that guy was phenomenal. I'm glad he saved your life because we could be here having this conversation. Some of the people that I do work for, some of the most wonderful people on the planet, that's different than saying, what does Israel as a country, what have they done that benefits America? And yes, we do give them billions and billions of dollars per year, both in war and in aid. That's 100%.
And out of the military equipment, those contracts come with an agreement that that production has to come from America. Okay, so even though that money goes to them, it comes back to us in the form of us producing the military equipment that they purchase. All right.
Okay.
So that returns jobs to the United States. Out of, if you took it dollar for dollar, I think it's somewhere about 90% of that money
Washington's a shitload of money too, doesn't it?
Comes back to America in the form of labor and jobs and in the production of our military.
I don't think you can make that statement because a lot of the time you have no idea where the fuck that money actually goes. It goes to them. It goes to some
the place we don't know where fucking money goes is when Biden sends $500 million over to fucking Iran.
Yeah,
on a pallet.
Both aren't right. Both aren't right.
That's
all
where we don't
money,
know.
We have no idea where it goes. We
the
give
money can be
dollars. We have no idea where it goes, bro.
Israel's a fucking developed, and it's not a mud hutter country. Okay, Israel fucking takes account for where that money goes, and we can account for it.
You have rose-colored glasses about Israel. You think that they are just the most stand-up, unbelievable. So why do you have such a rose-colored view of the leadership of Israel?
I don't. I think I can be critical of the Israeli government. Look, they've got a liberal problem just like we do here in America. Okay, our big cities have been for fucking decades ruled by liberals, right? What do we get out of our big cities? Fucking shitholes, right? They're all spiraling downwards. Denver, Colorado, where I grew up, all right, it used to be a big city. Everybody looked past it. They thought it was a cow town. It was one of the best kept cities. Then it started being run by Democrats for decades and decades and decades. Now you can't walk down the street without fucking walking over a piece of human crap on the street. All right. So Democrats have had control. Well, in the same way, Israel has had a lot of liberal people infiltrate their government, just like here in America. And they've got a liberal problem, just like we do. And everything that's bad about Israel can be attributed back to them. I know you want to put Bibi Netanyahu on in the International Criminal Court. Okay, but the guy is protecting he's protecting Western civilization right now. And you don't see it. Yeah, he's you know why?
Everybody, he's been saying he lied, bro. He lied about Iran since 1988. He said the same exact thing for 25 years about Iran being two weeks to a year away from.
This is why I have a hard time with you.
Been there.
This is why I have a hard time with you.
Why? This is the truth.
Because you're asking me to choose. You want me to be critical of him for fucking
lying to you? Yes,
subverting the fucking IRGC? You think these are people who stand in their parliament and say death to America?
Yet neither one of them are great. What about the guy?
One is fucking clearly worse.
Bomb shit.
One is clearly fucking worse, Michael.
What is so worth saying death to America and not bringing death to America, or getting America involved in wars? What's so much worse than this, bro? Because this is, once again, this is the problem. Bibi Netanyahu since 1998
When they
has
say
been
they
saying
wanna
that Iran, hold on, you have to hear me out, has
Okay.
been saying that Iran is 6 months to a year away from getting a nuclear weapon. Since 1988, I have it, and I played it on the show where he said it every single year to the UN for 25, no, plus that, for 50 years, 40 years. Now, finally, in 2024, he says it again, and Trump believes him, and we bomb the shit out of Iran. All right, and now I was for the bomb. I don't give a shit again, but I'm not going to pretend that Bibi Netanyahu is some great, spiritual leader when he's been lying. There's no way he could be not lying by saying the same thing for 40 years when it wasn't true. How's that not lying to you? Why do you not want to hold him accountable?
This
if
is
he's
why.
lying to you about one thing, why wasn't he lying to you about everything else?
Okay, well, your opinion of Bibi is up there with a lot of very staunch liberals, and I'll let you circulate with them.
That's cool. That's cool.
Like-
I'll be there. You call me a liberal. I'm a
That's
liberal
fine.
too.
No, it's
liberal
fine.
Anti-Semite. That's cool. Toss that out there. I'm good.
No, but you do sound like an apologist for everybody over there in the Middle East except Israel, and that disturbs me because I know the intentions of those countries, and I know the intentions of the Muslim
You want to go on a bashing
Brotherhood.
session with them? I'll bash them.
I've read the 100-year Muslim Brotherhood plan. I know what their intentions are for fucking Western civilization,
Mhm.
and
It needs to
Israel.
be stopped. I agree with
Israel,
you. It needs to be fucking
Israel does not fit in with that, and you're trying to attribute to them the same thing that I'm seeing come from those countries, and it's clearly fucking a false equivalency. So
So how is it a false equivalency? Because let's get into that, right? This is what I see, and maybe I'm wrong. When I see two different groups of people, I see both coming from the same exact texts through the same type of Aramaic fucking religions. It all came from the exact same thing. Muslims are a cult of Christianity, which means it stemmed from Christianity. It's still based on some of the Christian principles. So what I see is two groups of people. Right now, one has more numbers than the other, which is very interesting if the Jews were the original people. It's interesting why there's so little of them, but I digress with that. But what I see is two groups of people that are trying to outpopulate each other. Both groups of people have kids from like 8 to 9 per family, right? Versus Americans, which are 1.6. Both have very strict religious principles. Both use their religion to gain favor, right? Both ultimately run on some type of theocracy. I don't care what you say. Israel runs based off of their religious.
no, I disagree. I disagree with you on that one.
It does. No, it has to. If you have off on Saturdays, your government has to run a certain way. Every store is closed on Saturdays.
That's the predominant cultural influence. They clearly have a plural.
Once again, that's a theocracy.
No, there's a Muslim on their
religion.
there's a Muslim on their Supreme Court. How can you fucking say that? Like, if there's Muslims in their parliament,
And they're on like a brink of a civil war, Israel, right now. They've been on one for like the last 9 months. Charlie Kirk started talking about it, and then he died.
Israel's been fighting for their survival for fucking 80 years. Everybody around them has the intention. They have one country. They have no place to go. That's what Golda Meir said. We have no place to go. Okay, so they're desperate.
Why? Why do they have no place to go? Aren't you interested in that question?
That echoes of Holocaust. That echoes of like
they're the chosen people.
That echoes of fucking Holocaust. It just fucking disturbs me to hear you go,
it's
why?
not- I
Why?
wanna
They've
know
been kicked out everywhere.
Why do people hate? Why do people hate?
Hitler must have been
Why do they
fucking
have nowhere
right.
else to go? You don't think that's a relevant question?
No, I
Don't
think
you-
it's
you're not
fucking. I think
curious
it's
enough?
disgusting. I think it's a
you
fucking
don't think that's a
disgusting
curious question?
question.
Why do
It's
people
disgusting.
hate? I want to know that answer.
After World War II, that's a fucking
Good, I am
disgusting
disgusting.
question.
I'm
It is.
gross. I'm fucking gross.
It
Why
is.
do people hate everybody to where they had no place to go?
I don't.
Throughout
I fucking
history, why
love.
did
I
that happen?
love my Jewish brothers and sisters. They're more like
That's
me.
great. That's not an answer. So do I. But why do people hate them?
No, you don't.
If you don't
do.
understand why,
Why?
people
Why
hate,
did they get fucking
if
kicked
you
out?
don't understand why people hate,
Maybe
how are you
Hitler
gonna
was
solve
right.
it?
Is that the next statement? Maybe Hitler was
How
right.
are you going to solve it? Oh, now we're evoking Hitler. Yeah. So I'm interested in solutions, and you're interested in Hitler rhetoric.
No, you're asking a fucking
why
stupid-
people hate and how do I
I
solve
thought
it?
there were no
Isn't this
stupid
what we're
questions,
trying
but
to
that's a
fucking
stupid
do?
question.
Isn't this what we're trying to fucking do? We're trying to figure out how to stop hate. Correct? Yes or no?
Where
Is
do
that
they
what
have
we're
to
trying
go,
figure out how
Michael?
to stop this shit.
Where do they have to go?
Why do they hate? Why do people hate them? Answer the question. I think
I
it's
don't
a
know.
very real question. If we can answer why
If you
people hate
want to
them,
know, you want to know what I believe.
and then we can do Muslims. Why do people hate? How about this?
I-
Why do people hate Muslims?
I believe it's spiritual.
Why do people hate Muslims?
I believe it's biblical and it's spiritual, and it says the whole world in the Bible is going to turn on Israel. That's what I believe.
Why do people hate Muslims?
But in a practical sense, I don't know why the world fucking hates Jews as much as they do. I think it's weird.
Don't you think learning that, maybe figuring out why people do hate them in the way they do, maybe we could learn how to stop it? Because if we just say, "Oh, you're an anti-Semite,"
you can't fucking answer it. You can't answer it.
I could definitely answer why they're hated, but answer me why Muslims are.
It scares me what your fucking answer is going to be.
But answer me the Muslim question. You do the Muslim question. I'll do the Jews question.
Why I don't hate Muslims. If you would ask me before October 8th,
I would have. Why do people hate Muslims? I'm not talking about me or you here. I'm talking about people. We're talking about people now, right?
Because they have a pedophile prophet, and their book is barbaric, and 206 times in the Quran it says to unalive Christians and Jews, and it's supported by their hadith. So their whole fucking principle and basis for their ideology, which is not a religion, is barbaric, brutal, and it's intended to form a one world caliphate. And the Muslims that say, "Oh no, that's not what we believe. We're a religion of peace." That was the first third of the Quran. The first third of the Quran represented the first third of Muhammad's life before he got into power. Once he got into power, he became a fucking savage and he overran the world. That's why the last 2/3 of the fucking Quran is evil and wicked. That's why I have problems with Islam, because it's not a religion. It's a fucking ideology.
That's fucking great job. 100%. I fully 100% agree with everything you just said. Now, why is it so difficult to do that with the Jewish people?
Because their book doesn't say that.
Bullshit. It's the same fucking teaching.
No, it isn't.
They go off the Old Testament where God was wrath and fury. And
there's no Old Testament in the Quran.
And then
the Old Testament is completely
the Torah. They left out the Book of Enoch.
The Torah and the Tanakh are completely different than the Quran. They don't share the same book at all. They share one common denominator.
The exact same Old Testament. It's Old Testament theology. Yes, you're wrong. It stemmed from the same. Yes. Muslims was a cult of Christianity, which means it stemmed from Christianity, which means it stemmed from the Old Testament and the New Testament. You
find me a comparable. I challenge you to find me a comparable surah in the Quran that's comparable to even one psalm written by David.
Same.
No, David talks about forgiveness.
Is the exact same.
David talks about forgiveness in the Psalms. The Proverbs, the Proverbs talk about forgiveness and wisdom.
Do you think the Quran is all just evil and just killing nonstop? No. It's once, like you said, it's 100 passages out of how many passages that are in there. I agree with everything you had to say. This is the thing. I agreed with everything you had to say, and yet I still recognize that there's reasons why people hate the Jews. Now, I think what you said was great. Everything was spot on, and you understood fully why people don't like Muslims. You understand completely fine why people don't like Muslims. And if I ask you now with that understanding, how would you stop the Muslim people? Or how would you stop that religion from infiltrating America? Would you be able to, knowing why people hate them?
You can't. You know why?
Stop them?
You can't. You know why?
Why?
Because because Christianity went through a period of time in the Middle Ages where it became twisted. It became self-serving to people at the Vatican in Rome, and they used that to exact indulgences, which were attacks on people, which doesn't exist in the fucking Bible. All right. And they used that to gain power. They didn't let people read the Bible for themselves. And we went through that. And you know what Christianity did? Martin Luther led what was called the Great Reform. Okay. So Christianity was able to reform itself and correct itself. It had an adjustment in its timeline. All right. And out of that, the Catholic Church adjusted and Protestantism started. Okay, it was able to correct itself. Islam has never been able to correct itself. In order to do so, it has to totally rewrite its fundamental principles. You didn't have to do that with Christianity.
No, because
they have not ever reformed.
What they have a problem with is they have some of their language. See, this is the problem with religions in and of itself. When you read something, you can interpret something any way, right? So when I asked the Muslim kid that I work for, what's jihad? The way he read it and the way his Muslims are taught,
I know what you're going to say.
Jihad is a war amongst yourself, to where you have to go to war amongst yourself in order not to drink, in order not to cheat on your wife, in order not to do the things that are deemed sin. Because ultimately, the sins, the things that are bad, are frowned upon in the exact same way, in the exact same manner on both of them. Here's the difference. One group of people reads it as, this is a war with myself. Another group of people read it as, it's a war against other people. And they read that because other chapters say kill all the non-believers. Yes, that happens. I understand fully what you're saying. But you understand why people don't like the Muslims. What I'm trying to say is I agree with that. And now I'm trying to tell you why people don't like the Jews. And nobody wants to listen to it. The only thing that you have is you have anti-Jew campaigns or anti-Semitism campaigns, which is, like I said before, it's going to be nothing but the anti-bullying campaigns, which means we try to stop bullying. What do? You create more bullying. And this is the part that nobody wants to understand this. There's a reason why people don't like the Jews. And it's for reasons that are going on that I am witnessing in my area. And then I could take those things and correlate them to what is actually taking place in Gaza. Israel started off as a small sliver. They fought a war to get more. Okay. And they stated they wanted more. This isn't difficult to see what's happening here, see what they're doing here, see what everyone's complaining about. The arguments match. And when my arguments match, as I start looking into them, I go, okay, now I understand why people hate that group. So now my thing is, what's the solution to this? You said that you can't have a solution. I think the solution for America is some type of amendment to the Constitution where we have freedom from religion, where people cannot force their religion on others, no matter the religion, no matter that I agree with Christianity or not. I have to say none of them could be here because I don't appreciate one.
And after that passes,
Yep.
let's assume for the sake of argument that passes.
Yep.
Okay. And after that passes, which religion and which group of people is going to fit more neatly in the United States society? Jews
I think the Christians. I think the Christians.
No, we already know because it's a
American
Christian
society.
nation. We already know it was built on.
I don't think hardcore Orthodox or Hasidic Jews fit in an American population as well as people think. I think some of the regular citizens do. I think their ideology is not an American ideology. It's one of a Jewish ideology, and it always turns into segregation. They are segregated communities. That's not what America is about. America is not about you come in and you live only your way, and your way gets pushed on to everybody else. That's not how America was founded.
You answered my question. You answered my question. Between the three predominant religions, you say Christianity, Judaism, and least likely Islam.
I think Judaism and Islam live the exact same way in America.
Yeah, I don't.
Because you don't see it. I mean, you don't see.
I look for it.
You're going to see it. You will see
No,
it. I think they live the same way. They live a segregated life, bro. I'm just telling you right now. They are not. They pretend to be part of an overall community while living as a segregated community. Let me tell you something. If the Nazi skinheads took over a whole town in New Jersey, you would be reading about it on the internet. You'd be reading about it everywhere. Okay. If the skinheads took over an entire neighborhood, it would not be allowed. But somehow you have a group that's able to live separate from everybody else. And that is exactly what's taking place. That needs to stop. That's the stuff that I'm fighting against.
I used to say I would have, when I was growing up, I used to say, if I wasn't going to live anywhere else other than America, it would probably be Australia. Or if I didn't live anywhere else other than America, it might be somewhere in Europe. You know what? The only place I would rather live after I've been looking into it and the friends that I've developed after October 7th in Israel, the only place I'd rather live in the world is Israel.
Have you ever
other
been
than
there?
America. Other than America right now.
Have you been there?
No, I haven't been there yet.
I mean, I would love to go to Israel, but I don't think I would make that determination until then. And once again, am I saying it's not a democracy? Is it the nicest place in the Middle East? Probably. Okay. And there's everyone makes this. Everyone's wrong with this, bro. There's a differentiation between the leadership and the regular people. The regular people of everybody are just like us. You have regular Muslims, you have regular Jews. I don't have a problem with those people. None of them. The people that live in Lakewood, a lot of them are good. They can't drive worth a shit, but I get it. A lot of them are good people just trying to live their lives. Okay.
Do you think there should be?
Not them. My problem is not with them. It's the leadership. It's their religion and their leadership.
What kind of screening do you think should occur for immigration into the United States?
I think we need
should
to
it,
halt. I think we need to halt all immigration to the United States. I think we need to
I
take in
agree.
1 million per year, and they have to be old school. You have to be able to have a job when you come here. B, have a sponsor, have somewhere to be able to live. You are 100% not going to get any help whatsoever from the government. Now, I would like to see people like, if you have to pay $10,000 to get for citizenship, for example, I would like to see the people keep that and not pay the government $10,000 and keep it in their own pocket so they could start off a decent life with some money in this country. I wouldn't mind seeing that. But no, dude, I do not want to see ridiculous immigration coming from anywhere. We have to have highly qualified. If we take in 1 million people, it's 1 million people of highly qualified individuals that are not going to be a drain in the system, period. And when you look at, once again, when you look at these high immigrant communities, whether it's Israel, whether it's Dearborn, Michigan, the Somali community, one of the things that you see, regardless, is an increase in the people that are on welfare. Okay, again, I hate to do it.
in the Israeli communities?
100%.
Oh,
100%. You take Brick. Brick has a 6.8% unemployment rate. Tom's River, I think, is right about a 7%. Everyone around us are from 6 to 8%. They're over 32. Okay, so and it's, listen, there's things that happen, right? A lot of their marriages aren't, and this is, I found out that this is not theory. This is fact, and I have it from Jewish people, okay, that I spoke to. A lot of their marriages aren't recognized by the state. So what happens is some people take advantage of that system. They'll buy a house. It's a Section 8 house. The men will own it. They rent it out to the women who have multiple kids, all of them on welfare. Then what happens is the state pays for that house, and then they basically get the house paid for, and the families living together under one roof.
do you think that's representative of? Do you think that's representative of Judaism all throughout the United States?
So I think it's representative of people that take advantage of the system. And I think when you have a very big group of people that do take advantage of the system, I think it's safe to say yes. So when you have like Hasidic Jewish men that go to school their entire lives and never work, and they're all living on welfare, what do you call that? That is a system of welfare that they take advantage of the system, right? That is representative of them because that's what they do. Right now, does it represent all Jews? No, it represents their sect of Jewish people. But here's the problem. There's a lot of different sects and a lot of different orthodoxies to these people. So the Hasidic Jews, or you have the Greek Orthodox, the Russian Orthodox, a whole bunch of different orthodoxies. A lot of them dress the exact same way, so you can't differentiate from some that are bad versus the ones that are good. So they all get lumped in the bad category. That's why I always classify. You have good ones and you have bad ones, but the bad ones are a very big chunk in their community. That's why what I'm arguing is this. You clearly don't like the Muslims. I'm trying to say I think both groups are very, very, very similar, and they have to be dealt with in the exact same way. That's my argument. I'm not for or against either one of the.
I'm sorry. I don't see Jews running into buildings.
I just gave you a number of different examples.
No, I see Jews in Amsterdam at a soccer match being brutalized outside the match just for being Jewish and just for supporting the Jewish national soccer team. I see Jews thousands of Jews on a beach in Australia, being shot at by radical jihadis, and then they just stopped another one where they were going to go attack the prayer vigil, which happened days.
Flag as you fucking get, man. A lot of these are false flags. October 7th to me was a false flag. Why didn't they respond for 6 hours?
Tell me it's a false flag. Tell me it's a false flag.
From 6:30, the attack started at 6:30. They didn't respond till 1. Why didn't they respond for 6 hours in a place that's the size of New Jersey?
Why do you defend it like that?
It's not defending it. It's asking these people questions. You're asking me.
No.
It is. Everyone's asking.
There can't be that many false flags. That's such bullshit.
Why can't there be? Do you believe the official 9/11 story too? Is that where you're at? You believe those buildings just came down because planes hit them?
Oh my God!
Oh,
I bet the Jews did that too, right?
Well, I mean, the FBI did.
Oh God, Michael, you had me going for a while.
You don't want to hear it, but
I actually started to believe that
the people that were recording there that everyone said were the Muslims. No, there were Jews that were detained that had cameras set up filming the 9/11 like they already knew it, and they were detained for days. Then they were let go. This is part of the FBI files. This is fact. Did I say that they did it? No. What I said was they were somehow involved and they are implicated in ways if you follow the facts. And that's the FBI released that. I believe they released that in 2021. So go ahead. Keep going. I do this all day long, bro. You don't understand the shit that I know in my head.
It's
all
absurd.
verifiable.
Do you know how hard it is to keep a conspiracy under wraps? Have you ever done that thing where you whisper in somebody's ear in a circle?
How hard is it? You ever pull it off?
You ever done the experiment where you whisper in somebody's ear and you only get to say it once and then it goes all the way around the room, and by the time it comes back, it's totally different. Okay.
Okay. Okay. Let's.
Have you ever tried to keep a secret?
Work, but let's put the parameters correctly.
Have you ever tried to keep a
secret? No, you have to. If you're going to say this, you have to make the parameters properly. Okay. I'm going to tell you a secret. If you get it wrong to that other person, you all die. Because that's the situation with these conspiracies, right? I'm going to tell you something, and now we're going to listen to you tell the other person. And if you get it wrong, you die. Then I'm going to tell that person. I guarantee you, if that first person died, that answer would be fucking perfect by the time we got to the last person. So frame that correctly, okay? Conspiracies, you don't need a lot of people to pull them off. You don't. Why did Donald Rumsfeld come out and say that there was trillions of dollars missing?
How did the Jewish people get? How many was it on 9/11? Over 20 between the three planes. How did they get those guys to go do it?
How did they get anybody? How did anybody get guys to fly things into a building?
How did the Jews get them to do it?
How did the Muslims get them to do it? You think that if the Muslims could do it,
because that's their fucking ideology, Mike.
Oh, they can't. And the Jewish ideology isn't one to go kill yourself for other people too. Stop it! You have them.
No, you stop it. You're the same person who believes they operate off the same fucking holy book. You're telling me that it's impossible for Jews to be able to control Muslims in any way, because Bibi's been controlling Hamas for how long? Oh my God. If he could control Hamas, why did fucking October 7th happen? Oh, you're going to tell me that was a false flag. You're going to tell me that was a false flag.
Prove it wasn't, though.
Oh,
prove it wasn't, bro. Again, it's a 6-hour non-response. This is the stuff that you don't ask questions to. I do.
No, I did. I've looked at all that.
All I'm
That's
doing
such
is
bullshit.
asking questions. No, I'm asking questions, and you don't want to really believe the fact that you
operate way too much around conspiracies, man.
No, what I do is
yes, you do.
I think humans suck, and I don't put anything past humanity. What you're doing is you're putting a rose-colored glass on one group of people, and you're trying to point the other group of people as scumbags.
I stand with Donald Trump.
They're all scumbags.
I stand with Donald Trump. I stand with Israel, and I stand with the Jewish people. Absolutely.
I stand with fucking America.
I do too.
I don't stand with Donald Trump.
No, we're talking about Israel.
Fucking Israel.
Don't try to say I'm not. Don't try to say I'm not America first.
America. Period.
Don't say I'm not America first.
Only.
Don't apply that.
First. I'm America fucking only, bro.
We're talking about Israel.
Yeah,
we're talking about Israel.
I don't care about them. Let them fight their own fucking battles. Go to war with yourself. If you want to fight everybody in that
they have.
Go.
They
haven't. They do it with us. If they didn't have us,
where were our soldiers?
They wouldn't pull half of the shit.
Where are our soldiers?
They know that we have their back regardless.
That's right.
Everyone else knows it. So nobody else wants to fuck with them. If we said you guys are on your own, you're gonna watch the shit that happens, they're gonna be scrambling.
And
they do it. They are the fucking idiot at the club that always started fights knowing he had bigger, tougher friends. That's what Israel is. And they get us involved in their bullshit nonstop. And I'm tired of it.
We've had nothing to do with their wars. And ever since
blatantly stupid. That's a stupid comment.
No, we haven't had anything to do with them.
That's the most ignorant comment I've ever heard in my life. We fund their military. They buy their military equipment from us. We train them how to use it.
Have we fought their battles?
We are fighting their battles. Yes, we have helped them shoot down missiles. Yes, we have. We are helping them defend Israel.
Who created the Iron Dome?
No. Admit it.
Who created the Iron Dome?
You asked me a question. You asked me a question. Are we or are we not helping them shoot down their missiles? Yes or no? The
Yeah,
answer is
but
yes to
it's-
that. I'll give you the answer.
What percentage? What percentage do we shoot down?
Now it's a fucking percentage. Doesn't matter. You said we weren't helping them. Yes, we are. We're helping them in defense. We're not helping them on attack. We are helping them with defense.
You're an apologist for fucking everybody
There we
against
go.
Israel.
There you go. You focus on me.
You are.
Then blow your bullshit
You're
up.
a
The
fucking
bottom line is
apologist.
You were not thinking properly.
They are
on
our
this issue.
ally, Michael. You're an apologist for fucking people who've been on the foreign
Do me a
terrorist
favor, if you're gonna call me
organization
Michael,
watch list.
Call me Michael Charles if you're going to call me Michael, okay?
Why?
If you're going to talk to me like you're my fucking parent, then just call me.
I've never talked to you before. I don't know what you
Michael
prefer.
Charles Calderese. It's a joke, buddy. Relax.
Okay. I don't
Okay.
know what you prefer. Look,
No, I'm just saying, but I'm not an apologist for shit. What I am is I'm not a defender of bullshit.
you're creating conspiracies, man.
I'm not creating them.
Yes,
They're
you are.
correct. Nothing I said is incorrect, buddy.
No,
There's nothing I said that was incorrect. Everything is
there's nothing
verifiable
I've
fact.
said that's incorrect.
Many things.
Bullshit.
No,
Fucking
I mean, many things.
the-
The fact that you think Israel is just happy, great people, and they never did anything wrong is to me
the
that's
fact
the
that you think Gaza is just fucking teeming with innocent women and children when they voted in
problem. I didn't
Hamas.
say it was team
That's who
with
they
innocent
fucking
women and
want.
children. I'm
And,
saying
and,
innocent
when
women
and when the
children got killed.
IRGC launches volleys of ballistic missiles and
Whose women
cruise
and
missiles
children
in the
mean
direction.
something? Who's more
You know what?
important?
And that brings up a good
Israel's
point.
women and children, or
If
Palestine's
it
women and
wasn't
children?
if it wasn't for Israel's own developed Iron Dome, okay, we would be talking about 1 million dead Jews right now. All right. If they hadn't developed their own technology, we would be talking about 1 million dead Jews if the Iranian
we didn't help them with the Iron Dome at all. We didn't help them with that. No,
nope, that's their
Okay,
technology.
Yeah, it's theirs. Yeah, theirs that they stole from us. But that's cool
See, why do you even have to say that?
because it's
Like-
true. You think we don't help them with all of this military technology, bro? This is.
I'm
the stuff
fucking
that I
glad
find-
we
that I-
do.
that I
I'm
find-
absolutely glad we do.
Oh,
They
you're
are the
glad
only
we do,
fucking
but now
beacon
we
of
don't.
democracy. They're the only beacon of democracy in that fucking region. Absolutely.
Okay, great. Does that mean we have to fund their every word, and we have to have their back, and we have to fight their battles for them? We have to defend their country when we defend them. Once again,
Yeah, you know why? Because they don't have 55 fucking other nations to run to.
then they
have
shouldn't
one.
be starting shit that they can't fucking fight themselves, bro.
Oh, so they should just
They need to
fucking
be-
just
everyone
let them be
needs to on their
overrun.
own. Yes, let them fight their own.
Let them
battles.
be
Yes,
overrun.
100%.
No, fuck no.
100%. Let them,
No,
let them
fuck
fight
no.
their own battles.
No.
We need to be America only. I don't want America first and
Yeah.
Israel second and somebody else third. I am tired of second, third, and fourth places. I want America only. America first means shit to me. All right. And Donald Trump, his blind allegiance to Israel is a big problem. All right. Just like, listen, I agreed with everything you said about Muslims. Everything you said about them, I agree with.
Well, you know what?
But there
They're
we go. So I'll give you the last word because I think we beat this
Okay,
to death. So let's-
Israel is the front line against the fall of Western civilization. Europe is being fucking overrun. We've got Israel. That's it. That's all we've got over there anymore. We've got fucking the French are against us. Keir Starmer is fucking turning against us. He won't even support us in Venezuela. So Europe is fallen. Okay, you have nobody over there except Israel. That's our only ally over there.
Are we going to bomb our way into peace? So is that what? So we under what you're saying is we are facing an inevitable Islamic world war. Is what you're suggesting, correct?
I think we're seeing a silent fucking jihad, is what I think.
It's a silent jihad. Yes.
And when they get to a certain percentage,
how do you stop the silent jihad?
I don't know.
You have to stop them politically to do what I've been saying. This is what you're not picking up. I'm 20 steps ahead of you. The only way we stop this, the only thing that's going to happen here is we have our new age crusades that's happening. I've been calling them the American Crusades on my show.
And who are the Crusaders right now? The IDF. That's it.
Are they?
Yeah.
They're all going to be crusaders pretty soon.
You think you're going to get your constitutional amendment?
You're going to
You know
have
when
Christian
you know when
crusaders,
you're
going
going
to have Islamic crusaders.
Mike,
you have all of them.
Mike, you know
don't
when you're
think
going to
Islamic people are crusaders? In
Do you
their
know-
mind, they are.
Do you know when you're going to get your constitutional amendment that you were talking about? When it's too
When's that?
fucking late. Okay?
No, I want it now. Okay,
You're
I don't
gonna get
want
it when it's
then.
too late.
I want it fucking now, bro. But
The
you're not
liberals will
understanding.
never
Sorry,
give
my
you
wife-
that.
My wife walked in. I got distracted for a second. None of the religions will. But this is why you can't have one. We cannot pick and choose.
It's not
two
about
that
the
we like.
religions. The
It
liberals
is.
in America, just like the liberals in Israel have done, and they're the reason that they have these problems. Okay, the liberals in America are not going to let you have the constitutional amendment that you're talking about. It's never. And when they finally wake up and they realize,
the Republicans won't, bro. Both of them won't.
when they all wake up and realize, it's going to be too late. Okay,
It's
so
gonna be too
you're
late.
not going to be. You're not
Again,
going to be able
bro.
to defeat it. You're not going to be able to defeat it.
You're not
politically.
So what do you do? So what do you're going to bomb? So you're saying we're heading to a full on World War crusades?
This goes in just a little bit.
That's the only way to do this, right?
This goes in a little bit different direction, but it kind of makes the point. Why do you think Trump is being so hard on Venezuela right now?
Does that have anything to do with this?
It does.
Right here?
It's a geopolitical question that kind of ties in, and the reason is because militarily, okay, you're like, oh, we could fix it politically. I don't think you can. Militarily, we are taking back the Western Hemisphere. Okay, what's creeped over into Venezuela is communism. Okay, what's creeped over into Venezuela is drug cartels and a drug dictatorship, funded by drug cartels. You've got Chinese influence in Venezuela, and guess
I
what?
completely agree with that. Okay,
You have terror. Guess who's training the cartels? You got the Muslim Brotherhood branches, okay, Hamas, Hezbollah, those types. They're over there, ISIS. They are fucking training the cartels over there. They're the ones giving them their military training.
bro. I've been agreeing everything you're saying about this. Yes.
Okay, so I don't think it can be won politically, Michael. I think it needs to be won with a guy like Donald Trump, who's not afraid to fucking.
He's not fighting the war that needs to be fought. What are we doing to stop it right now?
Yeah,
we've been fighting the war. We've been fighting a war against Islam for 25 years, and we've gotten no better. In matter of fact, in Afghanistan,
no, we haven't. We've been
we kicked the Taliban out, and then they're back in, and they're a hell of a lot stronger than they were when we left in the first place. We have got no stronger in our position in our war against terrorism. None.
Why?
Zero.
Why? Because we're afraid to take out the head of the snake, the IRGC. That's why.
You cut one head off and two are going to emerge. This is Hydra type shit, bro. You are never. You're fighting an ideology. You cannot bomb your way out of an ideology.
Yeah, you can.
No, you can't.
Yes,
it's been proven. It has never been done. Why is it still here? If you can eliminate it,
you think you can reason? You think you can reason with the radical components of that ideology?
No, you have to not.
So what's left?
To take over your government.
So what's left?
That's what's left is not allowing it to take over your government. Can I say it any slower? You cannot allow any religion because you can't discriminate against one. You cannot allow any one religion to take over your government. And that is what happens. You cannot allow religious people to vote themselves in favor. And that's what's taking place in American society. The only way we save America and fuck the rest of the world, they're going to make their own decisions. The only way we save America is by getting religion out of government on every facet of it. Period. That's the only way to save this country. You are not going to bomb yourself out of this ideology. You are not going to do any of that stuff to this ideology. You're not going to end it with bombs or guns.
Why do you think? Why do you think I want a theocracy? Do you think I want a theocracy or something?
It's coming. Well, who wins this fucking this war that's coming?
It's not going to come from the Jews.
We have a war that's coming.
Okay, but the theocracy that you're concerned about isn't Judaism.
Okay. No, I'm concerned about all three of them. This is the problem.
No, you need to be concerned about one.
All three are a fucking problem because one is a problem. If one's a problem, that means all three are going to be fighting. That means all three are going to be a problem eventually. Again, this is the stuff you're not understanding. Christians right now are great. They had their enlightenment until they get pissed off and start fighting again. Now they're all of a sudden true faithful warriors. And we have fighting. So because there's one religion that's a problem, that means that there's a potential for all of them, the three main ones and all the rest, to also be a problem because they don't agree on some fundamental principles. Some are crazy, some are not. They don't agree. So they're always going to be fighting. And the Christians are only going to tolerate so much. And to me, when you have that environment based off of historical precedent, the only thing that they do in perpetuity is fight each other. That's the only thing that we can be positive about. And if we continue doing the exact same dumb things like fighting, it's only going to lead to more fighting.
Look,
And the only way to save America, if you ask me, is to not allow any religion to have prevalence in our government.
look,
Period. End of story. Last words.
the early crusades were, you know, to drive Islamic aggression back into the Middle East and get it out of Europe and to push it back. Okay. It was to give a path for Christians who wanted to make homage to the Holy Land, that opportunity. Who got caught up in it is the Jewish people that lived in the Levant, in the land at the time. Okay, the Crusades persecuted them as well. All right, that did happen. So I don't disagree with your description of what is about to happen, because I think Christians are going to rise up and they're going to ask for, you know, what falls underneath the just war doctrine. And I sent that to you.
I agree with you. I agree with the just war doctrine.
Yeah, so
I agree with what you're saying here.
I sent that to you today, and I, you know, so I think that's what's the natural progression here. What's different this time is the Muslim invasion that's come through immigration into Europe, and what's happening in the United States, especially in Europe. It's really taken a foothold. If we don't have a guy like Donald Trump, if we don't have a series of governments that follow after his 4 years, what's going to happen is we're going to look a lot like Europe in 10 years from now. And that's going to be.
I don't disagree with you.
That's going to be a big fucking problem.
I'm trying to stop. So you understand, that's what I am trying to stop.
I know, but you're so focused on the Jewish people who, in the big scope of thing, there maybe 20 million people, and here you got 1.6 billion. You got 1.6 billion Muslims, and I see your posts calling out as if the Jewish people are the one fucking spearheading this thing. That's the problem I have with you, Michael.
They fucking are.
Mike. No.
You know they are.
No,
and when I say
they only are if you believe all.
So are the Hamas murderers. They're all war criminals. They're all a bunch of fucking warmongers, including Lindsey Graham, who wants to just bomb fucking everything. He's a maniac. Like, all of these guys are maniacs, bro. That's all I'm saying. I don't approve of them wanting to kill everything that disagrees with them. On either fucking side.
Okay, and I'll just leave it at this. That's where you and I disagree. I think it's a false equivalency that you're making. I think you put too much emphasis on that. And the only way, this is just me, the only way I think you get any traction out of this is it has to flow from all your conspiracies around the supposed influence and power that the Jews have. And I don't buy it. It's not supposed.
It's well documented, bro.
No, that's where I disagree.
There's
Look, I disagrry with you. Otherwise, you and I
by documented fact.
Otherwise, you and I agree on a lot. So
no, we do, but I'll end it with this, bro. Everything I have said here tonight, you could be backed up with 100% documented fact. I didn't put any conspiracy theories out there. I didn't say the Jews did 9/11. I said they are mentioned in FBI documents, and they were in fact people that were arrested that day. Okay,
there's not as many people that take the time you do to do that. And
exactly.
So my second beef with you, they don't delineate as much as you do. Okay, they take a headline, or they take. I listened to Caltrope, and guess what? Like, you know what? There might really, I really trust this guy, and there might be something to the Jews fucking being involved in 9/11. That's my concern. And here's the problem I have with that. Here's the problem I have with that. All this energy is being poured into this, and this is what's dividing us, like the Candace Owen type and the Tucker Carlson. You know, it's like all these people are dividing the MAGA movement over conspiracy ideas, and
they're not conspiracy ideas. You say that because you're trying to put them down. They're not conspiracy
ideas.
No,
I'm trying to keep you. That's not why. I'm not trying to muzzle anyone. What I'm trying to say is, the MAGA movement, and we're going to see it this year. This year, it's either going to play out one of two ways. We're either going to see the MAGA movement split going into the midterm elections, or we're going to see the MAGA movement coalesce around the successes of Donald Trump. And guess what? Congress has only passed 5 pieces of his
exactly
agenda.
Are a big problem. They're a
big
problem.
The previous 4 or 5 presidents all had 100 or 200 bills passed in their first terms. Guess our Congress has totally failed us. This is not about Donald. This is not about Donald Trump anymore. And your listeners need to hear this, because I know you and I agree on this. This is not about Donald Trump any longer. This Congress passed only 5 pieces of fucking legislation on Donald Trump's agenda. We have a GOP Congress right now. All right. And they have failed to pass Donald Trump's agenda. The previous 5 presidents in their first term got 120, 127, 200 pieces of legislation passed in support of their agenda. They have completely let down Donald Trump. So when we go into the midterms, this should not be about Donald Trump. And the one thing Donald Trump needs to do is he needs to put up MAGA people to run against every one of them sons of bitches that were against his agenda. Every one of them, including the leadership. Mike Johnson, Thune, get those motherfuckers out of there, because they can't fucking, they couldn't lead, if they were the Pied Piper, they couldn't lead the fucking mice out of the town. All right. These guys are fucking dipshits. They've had the perfect opportunity to get this country and the ship completely turned around and pointed in the right direction, and they haven't done it. So the only thing, and it has to be done, the only thing Donald Trump can do is put up real MAGA people to run against these people and get them the fuck out of office. And he needs to endorse them in the primaries and move these fucking people down the road. Because what this country needs is a constitutional amendment that gives us term limits. And if I were running for Congress, the only fucking thing I would run on is term limits for Congress. They'd come up and say, what is your stance on abortion? And I would say, term limits for Congress. They would come up to this and they'd say, you know, what's your position on immigration? And I'd say term limits for Congress. You know why? Because nothing is going to change until we fucking get term limits for Congress and get these guys fucking in there for a few terms and get them the fuck out. All right. Because every one of them goes in, you know, having $100,000 in the bank, and they all come out multimillionaires. So something is really corrupt and something is really fucking wrong with our system. And it's in Congress. All right. It's not Donald Trump anymore. This is about Thune, and it's about Johnson. So anyway, I'll get off my little soapbox, but I had to.
No, listen. Once again, everything that you said, I think, is completely correct. And I just want to say one thing, and I'm going to wrap up the show.
Okay.
I think people do trust what I have to bring, and I'll tell you why. Everybody that's been watching me for a very long time understands this. I am going to ask the questions that nobody wants to ask, and I'm going to try to answer them. And I'm going to give you the facts of what I found when I asked those questions. And I'm going to ask the uncomfortable ones, regardless of how I look or how I sound or how I come off. All right. So when I say certain things and people call them conspiracies, but I ask questions based on that, I think people respect the fact that I'm asking the question. And you know what? If they want to choose to believe something based on what I said, then that's going to be their choice. Because what I do and what the Caltrop is and what we're about is we are about defending our minds from propaganda and bullshit. And the only way I have ever found out to do that is by asking all the questions that need to be asked, by not shying away from them, by being afraid of being called or being labeled something. We need all of the information. And that's the only way that I operate. And I do, when I see something like that, I say, well, this is weird. Candace Owens come out with a lot of crazy shit. She's asking a lot of right questions. I think she's jumping to a lot of weird conclusions. I like to ask the questions and say what I found. And that's all I do. But listen, let me tell you something, man. I guess he hopped off. He's not there. I guess let me thank him in person. We have my
no, I'm still here. I'm still here.
James, let me just tell you, man. Listen, Lively, that was phenomenal. I guess the other dude, Leslie, who I thought you were at first, coming in because you came in at the exact same time that I told Leslie to come in at. It was crazy. It was like 8:20. I said hop in at 8:20, so I just assumed that you were him. I apologize. I guess Leslie never showed up. He did not have your balls, bro. He did not have the balls the size of a truck that you could carry. You stepped in. I appreciate you being on the Caltrop. Hey, listen, man. I appreciate all your support over the years watching the show and all the comments. Keep them coming. I love the argument. I love the discussion. One thing's for sure. If we can't have these conversations, we're not Caltrops, man. If we can't have these conversations, we are not going to learn. We're not going to get better. We're not going to grow. And most importantly, we're not going to find out what the truth is. Now, whether you agree with James or you agree with me, that's not the point. The point is these conversations need to take place and need to take place in a very open way. Hey, bro, honestly, James, I really appreciate your time. See, I didn't mention where you work or any of that stuff. But I guess, I mean, are you still there, buddy?
Yeah, I'm still here.
You are all right. Good. So I'll say goodbye properly. Let's see. Do we have any?
Yeah, yeah.
Jake, I guess, and I apologize with the chat. I neglected you guys all night. It's tough to read and focus on what he was saying.
Yeah.
So I appreciate all you guys being with me. Remember, finger the fuck out of this like button. Share this if you like it. I really appreciate all you guys. Thank you very much. Hey, JC, you have a great fucking voice, number one. Anytime you want to come back and debate any topic or agree on some topics, I'll have you on at any point. I really appreciate your time tonight. That was an awesome discussion. Everybody, thank you very much. This Caltrop is out. Later.
Hey, send